homeowners insurance is, if they have any?
That's a good question. We don't know. I don't know.
You've never tried?
No,
Yeah.
that's a good question.
I
Probably
mean, they
don't
would
have it.
be pretty upset about that.
Oh, absolutely.
And I bet you that,
Absolutely. And to be honest with you, I don't think they have it.
well, that's possible. But if they did, they wouldn't have any.
Oh, yeah. They definitely wouldn't like that. You know?
Right, we'll take care of it. Yeah, I'm waiting on energy cops. They haven't, yeah, I'm waiting on the actual.
We're gonna meet with
That's the only thing I know I don't have.
we're gonna meet with realtors. I'm gonna ask them that.
And ask them if
If they can figure out who the insurance, I bet they can. I bet they got a source.
no, that's not that. Fit rope.
Then give me 1 second, and I'm gonna get you out of here.
You're the traffic nurse here.
Yeah. I need my orange little things.
Which one? I saw one episode of that. Huh?
Keep going, you gotta keep going.
Thank you, sir.
All right, I'll take that as a compliment.
Oh, that's not you. Maybe ask Susie?
Anyone heard from Christian?
Yeah, he's coming through now. He's just coming through the front door.
Yes, we'll have to.
Okay. Is everyone ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning. The time is 9:11 on Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. I'm Christian Waugh, and I hereby call this Citrus County Code Compliance hearing to order. First of all, I do apologize for being late. It seems that everyone's moving out this way, and so the traffic on the turnpike is getting messier and messier, so made me a little bit late. In these hearings, we follow an agenda. A copy of the agenda is placed outside so you can see it. And the first item on the agenda is the call to order. So we just had that. The second item is the pledge to the flag. So I'd like to ask you to join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
If any person decides to appeal any decision made by the Code Compliance Special Master with respect to any matter considered at this public hearing, he or she will need to ensure that a verbatim record of the proceedings is made, which record shall include the testimony and evidence upon which the appeal is to be based.
All right, so the next item on the agenda is approving the minutes from the Wednesday, February 19th hearing. We didn't have a March hearing because I was out of town. I reviewed the minutes. Are there any proposed objections, modifications, or changes to the minutes as currently formulated? All right, hearing none, I'll go ahead and approve them.
Staff update, abated, and continued cases are listed out front.
That's a long list.
It includes everything, cases abated and cases going.
I see, okay. All right, so that will bring me to the statement I'm going to make today. So again, good morning, everybody. My name is Christian Waugh. I'm a licensed Florida attorney acting as what is called a special master. That's a fancy title created by the law, but what it means is that Citrus County has hired me to preside over your hearing. What I'm going to tell you during this opening statement applies to all of your hearings, so I'd appreciate it if you would pay attention. When your case is called, please come forward. You will be placed under oath. If you are appearing at a hearing like this for the first time, the county will call the case, and I will allow the county to present its case. You will have an opportunity to cross-examine any of the county's witnesses, and then you will have an opportunity to present your case regarding the violation. That will be your opportunity to present evidence and make legal argument. It is important that you take your time during this process because it is likely going to be your only chance to make your case to me. I will also ask whether or not you are contesting the violation. If you do not contest the violation, I will assume that a factual basis for the violation exists and proceed to ask you how much time you need to fix the violation or to work with the county. This will help save time for yourself and others. In addition, it may lead to a reduced fine amount should there be a violation. But you are by no means required to do so. If you oppose the case or simply want to be heard, you do have that right. At any time during the hearing, I may have questions of parties, witnesses, or staff. Before issuing a ruling, I will ask if there are any members of the public who wish to speak. And if there are, such members of the public will have one opportunity to speak per case. Such right to speak is not unlimited, and public comment should be focused on the case and made as succinctly as possible. Although persons may be upset or even passionate about what they have to say, all witness testimony must remain civil, and you must not interrupt other witnesses, parties, or attorneys. In most instances, if you are found guilty of a violation, the law requires that you be given a time to comply before a fine begins. You must abate the violation by that date, that is, fix the violation, or the fine will accrue for each day that the property remains in violation. The law then allows Citrus County to impose the accrued fine as a lien on all of your property. The county then has the right to foreclose on that lien or seek a money judgment against you after the lien has been recorded for 3 months. I encourage anyone here who has questions about that or any rights at all about this to seek your own legal counsel. In all cases in which I find that a violation has occurred, I will impose all costs required by county law. I incorporate this into all of my orders as standard provisions. If you bring your property back into compliance with the code during the time that I allow, that cost will remain minimal. But if you don't timely fix the violation, you will be responsible for additional costs, as well as the cost of the lien imposed. Although it's only happened a few times in my years as a special master, I may continue your case if I find a need for further evidence or argument. That is going to happen in one case today. And you do have the right to appeal any order that I make today as provided by law. So on that note, Mr. Charlton, you probably can assume what case I'd want to talk about first.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, sir. First case on the day's agenda, Michael Arnovich, case number 2024-2133, Code Officer Julie Wilkinson, page 24 of your agenda.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't know, do we want to swear Mr. Novich in?
Yeah.
I'm not going to take testimony at this hearing, so I don't know if it's necessary. First, I want to apologize. I did think that I would be able to simply issue an order based on the evidence and the testimony that I had at the last hearing, and I fully intended on doing so. I did consult with the county attorney on this case and speak with her about it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually issue a briefing order. So what I mean is I have 1 or 2 questions I'm hoping that I can get the parties to educate me about or let me know what your positions are about to help me make the decision that I have. One of those questions is, the extent to which what's on the property constitutes an impermissible encroachment in the right of way. I think it will help to have you all educate me on it and do some research. and some perspective. So I'm not telling you to just rely on what I'm telling you today. I'm going to issue this in writing. I intend to do it today. I just didn't get it done before the hearing, unfortunately. And so I would continue the hearing to the next hearing with, I'll ask for the briefing to be done within about 3 weeks so that I have it and I can make a decision by the time of the next hearing and issue the order at that hearing. Does that make sense?
Mostly, is there questions for me to clarify, or is there
Well, you
questions?
don't have to. I guess I'll make that clear. I'll tell you the questions that I think matter to rule in the case, which honestly I don't think will come as a surprise to anybody if you were here and you were at the last hearing.
I know that you're not trying to have me start talking, and it's funny because I've actually got questions. I had to go through email from JC just to even know today's date and time.
Let's swear you in then, if you don't mind, because what you're saying may become evidence. I just want you to, if you could.
Yeah.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, please proceed.
So at the conclusion of our last special master, I think February 22nd, I was under the impression I might receive something in the mail or possibly an email just saying, hey, this is what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing. So once again, I had to go out and source information, and this is like there's stuff on the line here, and so I did that. I said, hey, I was communicating with JC through email. He did provide me, with the correct date and time, and he said, hey, the follow-up is going to be April 16th at 9 a.m. I just felt a little bit uneasy as far as that was the mode of communication. I mean, what happens if JC made a keystroke error? So I got certified mail on the front end. I don't know what the process is or if there are SOPs or what the expectations are, but I think it's
What is an SOP?
standard operating procedure.
Oh, okay.
So just saying we're going to do things the same way every single time for consistency. So
Okay. I mean, how do you deliver notices for the continued hearings?
In person at the hearing.
Okay, yeah,
February 19th, we told you April 16th.
that is true. So
and I'll go back and review the footage. There's a chance that I missed that.
I remember that. It definitely was said. But it's not to argue about, but I mean, let me make it clear to you. The third Wednesday of May, we'll have another hearing at 9 a.m. And
21st.
the 21st.
Okay.
You don't have to come. You also don't have to respond to my briefing orders. So what I'm asking is for the parties, as a matter of due process, to give me your perspective on the questions that I'll be asking. So that's it.
I get it. Last question, I'll
Good.
try to be quick. Is there any chance of me getting a legal definition of what is debris as constitutes from the county today? Or am I going to have to basically catch another debris and we go through this all over? I forgot to have them define debris. I watched the whole thing over again. I had to deduce what is debris because J.C. Charlton refused to point it out in my front yard and say that is debris. Okay. So I had to overcorrect, and I did, and I abated the junk by destroying all wood in my yard here in the Nature Coast. So what I now need to know for the entire public, because the whole county's watching this, we now need to know what is debris, because my poor blackberries falling on the ground. I had to take out trellising. I can't be forced to deduce. So I'm asking if we can't get a definition just real quick today of what is debris going to be, or we got to run it back.
I can't advise you. I encourage you to retain or seek legal counsel and get some advice on that. I will tell you that there is a definition of debris in Section 20-3 of the Citrus County Code.
Parts and pieces of a tree would include leaves and pollen, so I understand.
No, you've asked for a definition. It's there. It's about a paragraph long. It's in Section 20-3 under the word debris. So I encourage you to look at that and also seek legal counsel on the point.
We're probably going to have more loads of brush delivered. Sharon, my neighbor, will then
We're not taking testimony.
I'm just saying.
No, I need you to.
apologize.
Please stop interrupting.
I got you.
Yeah, that'd be great. So we're continuing the hearing to the third Wednesday of May, May 21st. I will issue a briefing order. I want to hear what you have to say, and I want to hear what the county has to say. I'll get that out today.
Okay.
All right.
And Your
Thank
Honor,
you.
I believe the May hearing is gonna be at the courthouse in Inverness. We're moving location, so.
Is
just
that
wanna-
permanent, or is that just for this?
It's permanent with the exception of September.
Okay. Well, so is it the old historic?
It's the
No,
new
it's at-
courthouse.
It's the new courthouse, and there's just gonna be a hearing room for?
Yes, sir.
Is it gonna be big enough?
Commissioners'
or-
chambers.
Okay, okay. Does that make sense? So, do you know where that is?
Yeah, I can look it up. Inverness
Okay.
Courthouse, May 21st, 9 a.m.
It's where all the action happens at the courthouse down in Inverness,
Cool.
so. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're done.
Yeah.
Next case, Rodney Worthington Jr., case number 2025-0110, Code Officer Erica Olson, page 37 of your agenda, expert on the case, Land Development Director Joanna Katu.
Your Honor, I've been notified that we have a consent in this case with an agreed-upon 60 days to abate with a $50 fine thereafter.
Okay, great. I'd like just if we could swear in and,
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Your name?
Rodney Worthington,
Thank you.
Junior.
good morning, sir. So, and this is for the benefit of others as we talk through this process. So it's my understanding that you're not arguing that there isn't a violation on the property. You're saying, yeah, there is a violation, but you've worked out an amount of time.
How to fix it, yeah.
Yeah,
She-
how to
She told
fix
me
it.
how to fix it, and,
Good.
yeah, so we got it all situated.
How
so.
much time do you need?
She gave me 60 days, but I'm gonna talk to the building department probably this week, so.
Well, that's always better. I know that everyone's
Yeah.
happier when everything's resolved.
Yeah, I can't put it off. I don't have time, so.
Okay.
yeah.
Can you just tell me what the issue was, real quick?
Yes, he owns a property with a home on it, and he also owns the property next door, which is vacant. He brought in like a tiny home, shed-like structure. There was RVs as well. He has since removed the RVs. There's a box truck that remains. He has filed for a building permit, but it hasn't been issued.
I'm gonna build a 2-bedroom house.
Nice, okay.
That does not include the shed.
So what does it
tiny
take to
house
abate
structure.
the violation?
He's gonna have to remove everything from the property, and get the building permit issued, to include, I guess like the, ability to store the materials there, and then he's gonna also have to, either take off the tiny home shed.
It's more of a
get-
kid's playhouse, but
Or
yeah,
get a
yeah,
permit
yeah.
for it.
Okay.
In addition to the permit for the tiny house, it's a separate.
Okay, so I mean, is that your understanding as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I wasn't sure I could get the permit on the playhouse until I have the house permit in,
Right.
which it's in, so.
Okay.
I'm gonna go talk to them and see if I can work on it today. I gotta go back to work here soon, but I might have to do it
I don't have
tomorrow.
any problem with that. I
Yeah.
think that makes sense. Is there anyone from the public who wanted to be heard on this case? Okay, then what I'll do is I'll agree that there's a factual basis for the violation. I'll grant 60 days from today to abate the violation. If it's not brought into compliance as ordered, $50 a day. Okay, that's it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, David and Tammy Rose, case number 2025-0204, Code Officer Julie Wilkinson, page 28 of your agenda.
And while they're coming up, I've been notified that there is a consent in this case with 7 days to abate and a $50 a day violation thereafter.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that one more time?
7 days to abate and $50 thereafter.
Okay, thank you.
So, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name.
David Rose.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
And so it's my understanding that you're not contesting that there's a violation. You only need 7 days to fix it.
That's correct.
And that if it's not brought in compliance order, you understand that there would be a $50 a day fine until you bring it into compliance.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Wilkinson, can you tell me a little bit about what's going on?
Yes, so this is a junk violation on a residential property. Initially, I observed tools, auto parts, plastic storage totes, loose trash, construction debris, and other miscellaneous junk and debris. It's been substantially cleaned up. When I went there yesterday, there was just a few small
Okay.
things left. And I saw the photos that he took, and as long as the property looks like the photos that he showed me, it's already abated.
Okay, so is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on this case? All right, I have no objection to this. It sounds like the parties understand everything and are in agreement on it, so I'll grant 7 days from today, or from the date of my order, to abate the violation, and it'll be $50 a day if not brought into compliance as ordered, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
and good luck.
Thank you.
Next case on the day's agenda is 2 cases. Vernon Carpenter, case number 2025-0126 and 2025-0127. Code Officer Alan Jonathan, page 7 and 8 of your agenda.
Sir, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah, I do.
Please state your name.
Vernon Carpenter.
Thank
Good
you,
morning.
sir.
Alan Jonathan, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer. I have 2 cases, if we can run them at the same time.
I have no objection.
Okay. Case number 2025-00126, accumulation of junk and debris, a violation of Chapter 20, Article 3, Section 20-31A of the Citrus County Code of Ordinances. Case number 2025-00127, unlicensed inoperable vehicles, a violation of Chapter 20, Article 4, Section 20-41 of the Citrus County Code of Ordinances. The address of the violation is 4598 North Custer Terrace, Hernando, Florida. Property owner is Carpenter Vernon. This property is .14 acres and is zoned MDRMH and was purchased 7 October 2020. I have good service via signed certified mail receipt and posting at the Lecanto Government Building. I would like to authenticate the following documents and request that they be admitted into evidence. Exhibit A, photos taken during my initial inspection on 30 January 2025, photos from a compliance inspection on 24 February 2025, and photos from my final inspection conducted on 15 April 2025. Exhibit B, a copy of the notices of violation, copy of the notices of hearing, a copy of the signed certified mail receipt, and a copy of the pre-hearing orders.
Okay, and so these are exhibits A and B. In each case, are they identical, different photos? They're different photos. Sir, I'd like to ask you to take a look at these documents and let me know if you have any objections to them being evidence in these cases.
This is for the junk, and this one's for the
Yeah, I don't have any.
You don't? Okay. And I'm only asking for are you contesting whether there's a violation in these cases?
No, I'm not contesting whether
Okay.
it's a violation.
All right, so we'll admit exhibits A and B in each case, and I'll just take a quick look at them. Well, it's well documented. All right, Mr. Jennison, why don't you go ahead?
Sure. On 30 January 2025, I conducted my initial inspection and observed the property to be in violation with miscellaneous junk and debris throughout the property, as well as unlicensed vehicles. On 30 January 2025, a notice of violation was issued for junkyard conditions and unlicensed vehicles, which is a violation of the ordinance mentioned earlier. On 24 February 2025, I conducted a compliance inspection and observed that progress had been made, but the property remained in violation. I have had contact with the property owner, and as of my final inspection on 15 April 2025, the property remains in violation.
All right, so Mr. Carpenter, this is your opportunity to tell me it sounds like you've
See,
conceded.
I don't live in state. I've been down here. I came down for 2 or 3 weeks to try to clean it up to find out that they drug more stuff back on it after
I can see
left.
some improvement over time.
So what
yeah.
I did is I sold the property. I no longer own it.
You did?
The gentleman I sold it to claims that he had called code enforcement and worked something out with them. I don't know.
So when did you sell the property?
Monday.
Monday. And who did you sell it to?
Some trust I have the closing papers.
Is that an original or is it a copy?
I guess it's the original, it's what they gave me.
Mr. Jonathan, are you aware of this? Or
So
do you-
I did receive a phone call from a gentleman saying he was purchasing the property. I did not verify in the property appraiser if that has changed yet or not. But he and the person that called me did tell me that he was going to clean up the property. He had to evict the people that were in it. It would take a little time, but that he was going to get it cleaned up.
Well, let me ask Ms. Harrison. I mean, do you care to know who the current owner is? Does it affect your case?
It does not, by statute, as long as the obligation is on the seller to notify the new purchaser that there is this code violation. It sounds like he did that and he was in communication with the code officer. So we don't believe it impacts our case. We can proceed.
I mean, but do you think you can proceed against Mr. Carpenter?
He is still the legal owner on, I was checking the property appraiser's
Not if that
website.
deed, I mean, then let's look at the deed, because deeds are active without being recorded. So if you have something that shows a conveyance.
This is all my closing documents.
I just want y'all to review it. I don't necessarily want to admit it as evidence, but I'll advise that if the county believes it's an accurate deed on the property we're dealing with, then it has conveyed ownership, and Mr. Carpenter's not the owner regardless of whether it's been recorded.
The lady at the title company said it would probably be Friday or something, Thursday or Friday before she recorded it.
Well, you know, there's also a lag time between recording and appearing on the property appraiser.
We'll let you look at this. This is a settlement agreement. This is not a deed.
Really?
There-
Okay.
it's-
Yeah, I'll take a look. Thanks.
Whatever you want me to get and bring back, I can. I didn't know as a seller that you get a deed.
Well, you wouldn't necessarily have an original in your possession right now anyways if you closed on Monday. Thanks.
So at the time the violation was identified,
Thank you.
he was the owner and he was in violation. Per 162.06 under
Yeah.
enforcement procedures, like I stated before, there's just the obligation that the owner has to notify the purchaser of everything. If Your Honor wants to do a one-time fine as an option, since he's claiming he's no longer the owner, but at this point in time, we have no deed that shows he's sold it. We just have his statement, and at the time the violation occurred, he was and still is the owner, and it hasn't abated before today.
All right, let's see. I mean, I know that y'all have talked about before that under Chapter 162 and perhaps separately in the LDCs, you can hold different people liable, like not necessarily just an owner. I think you have the ability to hold maybe tenants or people in
Correct.
possession of property. My concern is I don't have an express, there is section 20-3 which calls violators shall mean a person who creates or allows a nuisance condition to exist in violation of the county code or the Florida building code. Frankly, I think there's more evidence that he's not an owner than evidence that he is at this point. But I think he might possibly still be a violator under this nuisance condition as an owner. But had you leased the property? Was there someone else in possession
The
of the
guy
property?
was a friend of mine and he was just living there.
He's not living there anymore?
Yeah, I can't get him to get out of there. The
What-
real estate man made like 3 trips a week, and he would say he'd be gone by Wednesday, he'll be gone by Friday. This has been going on ever since February. So then the realtor told me, he goes, we need to find somebody who's here who can deal with him.
Okay.
So that's what they did. But the Realtor told me, you know, that everybody needed to be on the same page and know what was going on with the county, and that was why the gentleman, we closed on Monday, but he wanted to call the county to see what was going on. He got back with the title company and said that he was content with what was going on and what the county told him, that he was going to take care of it.
It is interesting because normally at closing you sign like an affidavit or a seller's affidavit that says, you know, you're not aware of any pending.
That's not in here because I did sign that.
Well, let me talk to you about it. You know, so normally in an affidavit like that, you say you're not aware of any pending proceedings, litigation, liens, but there's this case. Like this is a case. You know what I mean? So you would have been aware, but you're telling me that the buyer does know about this.
The buyer knew about it, the title company, and both realtors.
Right.
I didn't want anybody to be blindsided the day after they bought it
Okay.
and go, I didn't even know there was a problem. That's why I'm here.
Okay, well, what's the county's recommendation?
The Citrus County Code Compliance Division respectfully requests that the special master assess a fine of $100 per day per violation, along with the administrative cost to begin after the date you deem sufficient to abate these violations. This amount was selected based on the actions of the property owners once they were advised of the violations. We would also ask the special master additionally find that it is the respondent's responsibility to contact the Code Compliance Division when the violations have been abated in order to allow for reinspection.
I'm a little concerned, you know, because even that recitation talks about the owners of the property, and that paperwork looks genuine to me. What was the name on who's the name of the settlement agent?
The owner is Wendy, Rowthorn, Precision Title. I can give you her cell number.
Just doing a quick little look here.
She's the only one in the office, so.
And you sold it because you couldn't clean it up?
I live in Tennessee. I came down and cleaned it. This is, I mean, I thank God that I guess he didn't bring it up, but this has been an ongoing problem. This isn't the first time he's been out there. And I've had to come down and try to clean it up and try to get it in compliance. And I mean.
Mr. Jonathan, have you heard anything that you disagree with from Mr. Carpenter today?
No, sir.
Are you familiar with the tenants or whoever is in possession?
I've briefly spoken with a female that was there. Other than that, I mean, she was very aggressive the last time. I think when I did my compliance inspection in February, she was kind of aggressive towards me. And as soon as that happens, I immediately cut contact and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which she is.
I mean, that makes sense.
And the gentleman that who's my friend, who I was letting stay there, just got out of prison. He was in prison for like 13 months. So, I mean, I'm not trying to use that as an excuse, but.
Let me ask this, is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on this case? Okay, we have someone who wants. I'm sorry?
The address?
You want?
Address of that property?
4598 Custer.
Custer?
Custer.
Custer is in the general?
The dessert, I think, CUSTER.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if it's the dessert or the general.
So, so no input from the public. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to continue the hearing. I don't feel comfortable assessing the violation based on the fact that you're not the owner. I do think, you know, if you were still the owner, I'd probably give you, 60 days or something to clean it up, but it'd be in your name, and I don't know what ability you have to compel the cleanup at this point.
I can't go on the property anymore.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue it, but here's the thing. The case is in your name, so if it comes back a month from now, we're still going to be in the same situation if it's not cleaned up.
Can I put just a few things on the record
Yeah, please,
for the
yeah.
continuance? So at the time the violation occurred, he's the owner and the violator. He was given time to abate, which is outlined in the evidence provided before the court. In that time, he was still the owner and the violator. Statute doesn't allow for us to continue or not to proceed if he sells 2 days before the hearing. It just says he has to give notice, which he says he's done. So he is still the violator. And if the special master is worried about bringing into abatement, an option could be a one-time fine against him as the violator, because he is the violator. He never abated this case.
Could you define violator, since I
Yeah.
live 700 miles away?
That has nothing to do with it. I mean, so violator is defined as a person who creates or allows a nuisance condition to exist in violation of the county code.
Okay.
The problem is, you know, even as a landlord, there's responsibility, because if someone's violating the code, they should be evicted. That's the idea, and
Right.
and that helps maintain, you know, all the regulations. So, yeah, I mean, I see the county's point that there's not a whole lot of difference just by the fact that the deed may have been executed. There's no evidence it was executed on Monday. Well, there is evidence, Mr. Carpenter's testimony. So, what would the county have me do as a one-time fine?
The county is just offering this up as an option, since the court does not seem inclined to want to give time to abate. Granted, if the court did give time to abate and the new owner abated.
Yeah, it would make no sense.
There would be no lien. There'd be nothing to
But I
concern.
can't, but they have no control over that. So I think what you're proposing makes sense in terms of what the remedies ought to be. This case started in January, and I guess that there have been a lot of issues. All right, then I think you're right. I will issue a one-time fine of $500, and if the county wants to go after the next owner to compel the cleanup, I think that might be a good idea.
And then I'll be done, or I have to come to another
I'm going to
hearing?
sign an order. I'm not going to continue it. I think the county attorney was right about that. So,
Christian, is that on each, 500 on each case or total?
it is total. That's what I.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Next case on today's agenda, Horus and Tina Grant, case number, and Tina Davis, excuse me, case number 2025-0342, Code Officer Erica Olson, page 11 of your agenda.
Page 11.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your names.
Horace Davis.
Jaden Davis. Thank you.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Erica Olson, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer. This is a repeat violation initially observed on March 11th, 2025. The address of this violation is 6715 South Frankfurter Way, Homosassa. Case number CE 2025-00342. Accumulation of junk and debris, a violation of Chapter 20, Article 3, Section 20 through 31 Alpha of the Citrus County Code of Ordinances. This property owner, Horus and Tanya Davis, has been previously found guilty of the same violation at the same location on November 20th, 2024, case number CE 2024-01766 was $0 in imposed fines, and that case was abated on the 9th of January 2025. I have good service posting on the property and posting at the Lecanto Government Building. I would like to authenticate the following documents and request that they be admitted into evidence. Exhibit A, the findings and facts of order acknowledging compliance from the previous case, 2024-01766. Exhibits B, photos taken during my initial inspection on March 11th, 2025, photos taken during my subsequent inspections on the 13th and 14th of March, April 7th, and photos taken during my final inspection on, April 15th. Sorry, I have the wrong date on here, I apologize.
Yesterday.
Yes, yesterday. And Exhibit C, a copy of the NOV, NOH, a copy of the signed or the copy of the signed certified mail return receipt, and a copy of the general pre-hearing order, copy of the NOH posted on the property, and a copy of the posting affidavit.
All right, so sir, it sounds like the county has said, and I think I vaguely remember this case, that it's a repeat violation. They have certain exhibits that they want to show and have be evidence in this hearing. So I'd like to ask you to take a look at these documents and let me know if you object to them being evidence. Okay? And take your time.
This is just the stuff from your last case.
Okay.
And this is the stuff that was sent to you right now, just like the paperwork. And these are the photos.
Were those the only settlements we were gonna, okay.
How many days to abate? I just got given an update. We have one more.
Oh, okay. They're up next. Mr. Davis, do you have any objections?
No, everything's been taken care of. And pile of wood was a privacy fence, so we had my brother-in-law come over, and he put that up, took care of that. And I see the little piece of sheet of plywood laying on the ground, which where my Firebird was sitting at, my 68, so I removed that to a friend's house. And I took it off the jack stands, and I guess the wind must have blew the car cover off of it. And then that's when I had to remove my car. And I didn't know if I could put a piece of privacy fence up the corner of the house where my car was sitting at, then bring my car back there.
All right, let me just take a look at these documents. I'm admitting exhibits A, B, and C as evidence, and I'm just reviewing to remind me of the prior hearing. Okay, so the prior case was also your case, Ms. Olson?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it abated within the time allowed,
Yes, sir.
and now it looks different than when you, or actually, tell me about I'll let you proceed, go ahead.
Okay. I conducted my initial inspection on March 11th, 2025. I was able to access the property from the complainant's property. During this inspection, I observed scrap metal and wood, tree debris, totes, and some other miscellaneous items. I drove around to the front of the house to try and make contact with the homeowner, and via the Ring camera, I was able to get in contact with Tanya. During this conversation, she decided to come back to the house, and we furthered our conversation in person. I did advise her of what I saw from the neighbor's property and the things that I saw at the front of her property. I further explained that due to this being a repeat violation, daily fines would accrue. On 13 March, I attempted to do another inspection, but was not able to because the complainant was not home. On 14th March, I conducted an inspection at the Davises. They allowed me access to their property. During this time, they explained that the wood that was neatly stacked is due to construct a privacy fence, and the bed of their truck was loaded with things to take to the dump. I advised them there was just a couple more things they put in the bed of the truck, and they took it to the dump. At this time, I found that the property was in compliance. On the 7th of April, I was able to get in touch with the complainant to conduct another inspection. She advised me that the Davises had erected a privacy fence. I went back and took pictures from her yard, and you could no longer see the Davises' property from the complainant's property due to the fence. I conducted my final inspection yesterday and found that there was nothing out of
So you're
compliance
saying
in
it
the
was a
front yard.
repeat violation for like 3 days?
Yes, sir.
So in looking at the photos,
And one of them that you see a little cooler in the
Yeah.
backyard,
yeah,
that's covering our pump well. Cause it comes up and then it's PVC, so if anything fall on it, it won't break it.
yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a part of the county's case,
What?
what he was just talking about.
The cooler?
Yeah.
I did advise them that they should get something else to cover it, but I was really more concerned with,
Yeah.
any tree debris and, some of the junk that was laying around.
Yeah, I mean, but from your perspective, it abated on March 14th,
Yes, sir.
right? So I see on March 14th, the cooler is there on top, so I assume that's not part of the case. So what is your case on March 11th? It's all the wood debris?
It's all the wood, and then in the front of the house, there was some totes, and some tires. The tires were actually out there on the 14th, but she put them in the bed of the truck and hauled them away. And then when I came out there on the 14th, the totes were gone. There was like some random scraps of wood in the backyard that were laying there, a little bit of tree debris. It was very small stuff, but would still be considered a violation.
I mean, I don't find for sure that the new fencing material is not a
No,
violation.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that was like fencing
Okay.
material at first,
Well, what
but
about
even
the old
without
wood
that.
material? Is the old wood, where does that old wood debris come from?
What the fence sitting on,
So I'm gonna show you page 2 of Exhibit A. There's your new wood material. This is what I'm calling old wood material. Like, what is this?
could I look at that?
Once you can come up, I mean. What is this? Because I think they're saying this is an issue.
Oh, that's some of the poles.
From the old?
No, them some of the poles, what we had from a while back, what we used for part of the privacy fence. But that's no longer there.
Right, okay.
Some of that was for the new fencing what we put up.
So this was for the new fence as well?
Yeah. Some of
This
that,
and this?
and that.
Okay.
So, my brother-in-law, he came over on a Saturday morning and put everything together and put it up.
Okay, all right, I appreciate it. Is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on this case? We did have public input at the last hearing. All right, what's the county's recommendation?
The Citrus County Code Compliance Division respectfully requests that the special master assess a fine of $150 per day with administrative cost to begin on the date of the posting on the property, 11 March 25, and continue until 13 March 25. That would be 13 days at $150 per day, totaling $450.
I've got good news and bad news. The good news is I just saved a bunch of money by switching to Geico for car insurance. No, the good news is I'm not going to find that kind of a fine amount. I mean, the bad news is I don't think your wood is any part. I don't think the wood stuff is a violation. Unfortunately, some of the miscellaneous stuff that was in front of that, technically it does. So we talk about, and we may hear more about it in this hearing, of the junk scale from 1 to 10. So as far as junk cases go, this is a 1. This is a 1, but it is a junk case, so it's not a 0. So what I'm going to do is I'll find that there is a repeat violation and not do a fine of $150 a day, but do a fine of $50 a day, which is the lowest we typically go for 3 days. So the total fine will be $150, but can't do it again. I mean, that fine will go up if it happens
Right.
again. So
Right.
that's it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Question.
Mhm.
On my 68 Firebird, which I had to take off the ramps, which I did.
Your what?
My 68 Firebird, I had to take it off the ramps
Oh, okay.
and remove it, because what happened, the wind took the car cover off. So if I put, because it's like right beside the house, so if I put a privacy fence up there, can I bring my car
I would
back?
talk to the county about that. I'm not going to prejudge something or give you legal advice. My job is like, you guys both tell me what happened, and then I say, ooh, there's a violation, there's not a violation. You're talking about, I think, something, giving an advisory opinion. I don't do that. So I would talk to the county about that.
Okay.
Talk to them.
All right.
All right? Thanks.
Next 2 cases, Anthony Follis, case number 2024-1981 and 2024-2019, Code Officer J.C. Charlton, page 12 and 13 of your agenda.
And when you're ready, we do have a no contest on this one.
Okay, all right.
The parties have agreed to 90 days to abate and $50 a day thereafter on each case.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Your name, sir?
Anthony Battles.
Thank you, sir.
And, sir, what's this dog's name?
She is Sydney.
Sydney. Now, they say that if only pets could talk, if only dogs could talk, but we won't make Sydney swear an oath. Did you hear the announced resolution?
Yes.
All right, and you understand. So in each of the cases, I'm going to grant you 90 days to fix what it is.
Absolutely.
And if it's not brought into compliance in either one, that would be a $50 a day fine, which is the lowest the county ever goes. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then I guess I would just ask what's going on the property.
Okay. J.C. Charlton, Code Compliance Officer. This is a case for accumulation of junk and debris and unlicensed vehicles. Chapter 20, Article 3, Section 20-31, Citrus County Code of Ordinances, and Chapter 20-41, Unlicensed Vehicles, Citrus County Code of Ordinances. The address is 4345 East Archer Lane. Property owner, Anthony Follis, good service posting the property and at the Lecanto Government Building. I'd like to authenticate the following.
No.
Mr. Charlton,
I'm
what's the
sorry.
violation?
Oh, the violation is for junk.
And, I mean, do you have any concerns about 90 days and being,
I
okay.
do not.
And you've personally handled these cases?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Then, is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on these cases? Sir, you just stood up. You want to be heard? Yeah. All right, and this is on 4345 East Archer Lane? Okay. Well,
Can he identify himself?
Oh, he's going to, yeah. Sir, then please come on up. Come to the lectern where Mr. Charlton is, and I'll ask you to identify yourself and let me know what you have to say. Well, we'll swear you in first.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name.
Roger D. Alvar Jr.
And I didn't get the DL.
D as in Dale, A-L-V-A-R, Alvar.
Alvar. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
What would you like to say?
So I live right kind of like kitty corner from, what's the address?
What is kitty corner?
Hold on.
43, what?
4345 East Archer Lane, Inverness, Florida.
Yeah, so that whole Archer Lane is like a violation. So, and when I called code violation, I didn't know which address to give him first. So right off, I just pointed, There was actually two of them I gave him, this one and another one, and I don't know if they're next door to each other, but, you know, with the abandoned boats in the road, the abandoned trucks in the road, all the cars that are not licensed, the RVs, it's just junk. It's a bad eyesore. And so, I'm just trying to do what I can to point these matters out, and maybe things will get cleaned up in my neighborhood.
And Mr. Fowles, just so you know, this is the opportunity for the public to be heard. It's not a combat thing.
No, I would like some answers as well.
No,
when he's
no,
finished.
no, sir. This is for someone from the public to be able to come and just give me input.
Okay.
So, he's not a witness for the county.
I
He's
know.
not. Yeah.
He hasn't
okay.
stated his address.
Well, sir,
And
if
you know,
you would.
And then if, because these properties are like behind East Trail X. So it isn't me here to be standing to be accusing somebody of, I don't know how to approach this, except these people have no electricity, they don't have water because they don't have electricity. Okay, you know, I live on 4309 East Trail X. I watch and I see all of the drug traffic come by my house to the end of Trail X. And then from there, there is a dirt path that all these indigents take down to this address here. There's a dirt path that wide, and they all head down here. So I'm doing what I can to maybe disrupt the drug traffic, the prostitution, stuff like that.
Okay.
Hmm?
Is there anything else you want me to know? Okay.
But that's not the only address. I think he's probably got 3 more of the same community.
Well,
I shouldn't have to say, okay.
No. I'm not trying to interrupt. It's just that this is only for 4345 East Archer Lane. I don't know if there's other cases regarding other properties.
Well, I don't either, but I know that I, you know, did what I could do to see that something would be done here. I don't know.
Well, I appreciate that.
Okay.
You have a right to be heard. Okay, thank you. And Mr. Fallis, sure enough, I always give you the opportunity to respond if you feel the need to.
Actually, I do, sir, because obviously, I don't know if he's a voyeur or exactly what he is. There is no connection between Trail X, where he lives, and Archer Road. The path that he is talking about is actually a street in our neighborhood. It's Ember. You know, he's essentially accused me of owning more than one property in there, which he has no proof of, which I happen to own just one of those properties as well. He's made allegations without substantiating any of it. It is all rumors, propaganda, suspicion, and lies, flat out. I would ask the gentleman, where is the proof
So, sir,
of
in
the
these
prostitution?
hearings, you have to direct
and
your
the
comments to me, and yeah.
Okay, I would like you to ask him to provide proof of the allegations of prostitution and drug dealing from my property, since he's singled it out. This guy is apparently not sufficiently there. I don't know how long he's lived there, you know, so I would ask you, sir, to disregard his comments as baseless, factless, and no evidentiary evidence of any of the claims he is making.
All right. Well, if it's any consolation, I'm a lawyer and am regularly accused of far worse on a daily basis. But I mean, prostitution. So in any event, Mr. Charlton, do you wish to stand by the?
I would like one other thing.
Hold on a second, Mr. Charlton. Is the county standing by the proposed resolution of the case?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Fowles.
I just find it slanderous in the individual to be liable.
Well, that's between you and him. My job is to resolve the issues. You guys have come to a resolution. I value the public input, by the way, and anyone from the public has a right to be heard. Someone might not be familiar with the property at all, and they could come forward and say something.
I could understand that, sir, if they were presenting
I'm
facts.
I'm not done. And, but I think that the two main parties here have come to a resolution. So what I'm going to do is I'll issue an order that says there is a violation on for each of the cases. Grant 90 days to abate the violation. If it's not brought into compliance as ordered in either case, there will be a $50 a day fine.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's what we've reached.
All
an
right,
agreement
then.
on.
Yes, sir.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you.
Next, 3 cases on the agenda. Gloria, Turney, case numbers 241746, 241785, and 241745. Code Officer J.C. Charlton, and it's going to be pages 31 through 33.
Thank you.
And we have an expert.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We have an expert for case number 2024-01746. It's Sam Acosta, Building Director. I'm going to do the two cases, 1745 and 1785 together, if that's okay.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name, ma'am.
Gloria Thrush.
Gloria
Thrush.
Thrush. Thank you.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay.
J.C. Charlton, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer, case numbers CE 2024-1745 and CE 2024-1785.
Mr. Charlton, quickly, can we clarify if Miss Thrush is Miss Turney, or is she a member of the public?
No, that was my married name.
Okay, so you're the same person? Okay, thank you.
These are violations for unlicensed and inoperable vehicles, violation of Chapter 20, Article 4, Section 20-41, and accumulation of junk and debris, a violation of Chapter 20, Article 3, Section 20-31A of the Citrus County Code of Ordinances. The address is 11615 East Salmon Drive, Floral City. Property owner Gloria Turney. Good service via posting the property and at the Lecanto Government Building. I would like to authenticate the following documents and request that they be admitted into evidence. Exhibit A, photos taken during the initial inspection on October 3rd, 2024, corrective action inspection on March 11th of 2025, and final inspection on April 15th of 2025.
Why would there be such a big gap?
These cases, the initial inspection, the case was started by Code Officer Brandon Norman, and I inherited these cases, and I took over the case from there.
Oh, okay. Is Mr. Norman not with us?
He is not with the county at this time.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I guess that could have been, I don't know, not with us could have meant a lot of different things. So thank you for specifying that. Okay.
No problem. Notice of violation and notice of hearing, a copy of the pre-hearing order, copies of the posted property, copy of the posting affidavit I completed for both cases.
Okay, and so you're presenting, I want to be clear, 1746 and 1745, or is it 1785 and 1745?
Yes.
It's the latter?
Yes.
Okay. The junk case and the unlicensed inoperable junk vehicles. All right. Ma'am, I'd like to ask you to take a look at these documents. These are proposed exhibits. Let me know if you have objections to them being evidence today. And do you contest whether there's a violation on the property?
No, there was violations. I've been trying to get everything readied up. I've gotten rid of these vehicles and.
Okay. Well, take your time, look through these documents, let me know if you have an objection to them.
Excuse me. Your Honor, I do have pictures I have taken myself today.
Yeah.
Just to prove that I have had all this cleaned up.
That's fine. So that's, what I do is I let the county to present its case first, and then I want to hear what your defense is, and that'll be a part of your opportunity to give me evidence.
I have no.
Okay.
Sorry, that came in.
Okay, without objection, what's been proposed as Exhibits A and B is evidence in cases 24-1785 and 24-1745. I'm going to just take a look at these real quick to familiarize myself with what the county's saying. Okay, the vehicle case is not rocket science. Okay, please proceed.
An initial inspection was conducted on October 3rd, 2024 by Code Officer Brandon Norman. The photos depict violations of unlicensed inoperable vehicle on the property and junkyard conditions on the property as well. During a corrective action inspection I conducted on March 11th, 2025, I was able to access neighboring properties to view the back of the property, and the conditions were worse on the back of the property. On the back of the property, I observed scrap wood, boathouse fallen on the ground, a portion of it into the canal as well. The dock broken up in the back as well, falling into the canal. While conducting a postman's walk to the front door to make contact with the property owner, I also observed a carport full of debris and appliances as well. I have had contact with the property owners during posting the property. I spoke with Ms. Turney and this gentleman next to him, Tim. Ms. Turney was not happy to see me. She stated that it's her property and the neighbors just don't want her there. I explained the violations to her, and they stated that they would resolve the violations. As of my final inspection, the property is in violation of both unlicensed and inoperable vehicle and junk and debris.
So first, is it Ms. Thrush? Ms. Thrush, I'd like to ask you about the unlicensed and and you'll have an opportunity to present whatever you wish, by the way. But is the vehicle registered, or is it tagged?
No, sir. It's my late grandmother's, and it's in her name and my grandfather, and I was just keeping it So, I mean, I don't know really what to do about it.
I mean, it's a violation of the code, so there's a couple ways to fix it. It can either get I mean, my understanding is that the way that she can fix it is to obtain a current registration for it or remove it from the property. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Okay, because I did put it in the carport, and, you know, I moved it from in the yard
Right.
into underneath the carport and stuff, and I have it covered.
Does that abate the violation?
It's not an enclosed structure.
So there is a provision in the code that says if you get it in an enclosed structure, but a carport's not good enough, a tarp isn't good enough.
Okay.
That's just what the code says. So, you know, when we talk about that case, I'll be asking you how much time you need to find a way to do those things, one of those things.
At least 30 days, I would like.
Okay, well, that's fine. Now, on the junk case, I think you've indicated that you've fixed it, or?
I have been trying, Your
Okay,
Honor.
okay.
I got the place from my grandfather, and a lot of the docks and stuff were there. I've been there forever, since they first got the place, but we did manage to tear one down. And
How big is the property?
it's almost an acre. It's 4 lots. And, you know, my grandparents built it in 1981, so it's pretty old. I did have a new roof put on, and I've been trying to slowly work at everything that needed to be done. But I do have pictures that I took in. I've cleaned up the tires. I've cleaned up a lot of the stuff around there. We did fix the roof on the boat thing that was caving in. We fixed that. And we tore down the dock. And, you know, I just I didn't get the letters even saying about this. So I didn't find out until he showed up that day. So we've been working ever since then.
Well, and sir, if you want to testify, I'll allow you. Do you want to testify, sir?
Oh, I'm one doing the work.
Well, if you would, sir, we have to get it recorded so the record is there. Could you please state your name?
Timothy Wilson.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
So help me God.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, are you okay with him testifying on your behalf? Okay. Can you tell me what you were saying? I couldn't quite make it out.
Well, I talked to the gentleman when he said to get what I had to do.
And can you speak in the microphone? I'm sorry.
Sorry. I'm working on trying to get everything accomplished, but I had to leave for a week, so it kind of backed up. By the time we got it, we only had, 2 weeks to try to get applied, so I'm working my best to try to get.
It appears to me that there has been maybe some improvement, and certainly from the testimony, there's been
So
improvement.
many things at the same time trying to get.
Well, how long will it take to get there? You know, the case that Mr. Charlton outlined, I don't think it's even fully in the photos, so I may not fully understand how much work it's going to take. How long do you think you need?
If I can get at least 60 days, I'm pulling docks out of the canal.
So the dock isn't fully out yet?
Well, yeah, it's on the bank.
Is the dock a part of the junk case?
Yes.
It is? Okay. Well, I don't think that would be an overnight thing.
So, I'm, just everything, I almost had the screen pulled done, almost. So, I mean, it's just trying to get, I was trying to slam everything, to make it kind of look like I'm doing something, because like I said, I lost a week.
Okay.
So.
The hurricane blew in all the screens.
All the screens.
Okay.
That's actually the next case, that's not this case.
Okay.
Oh.
So, is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on either of these two cases? Is there someone? Okay. Why don't you come up where Mr. Charlton is, if you would, and I will hear what you have to say. Mr. Acosta, you could probably take a seat. I mean,
Ma'am,
Oh, sorry.
do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Can you please state your name?
Deborah Sharp.
Deborah Sharp? Thank you.
and ma'am, where do you reside?
Next door.
Okay. What would you like to tell me?
A lot of that wasn't true. that she just said. But I've been living with this. She moved in over there 3 years ago, and it's been a constant car after car after car, staying for 20 minutes and leaving. And the junk accumulated worse and worse as the years went by. And it's been really frustrating because I called codes early last year, and nothing happened. And then I called them again because I thought this hearing was going to take place. And they said it was resolved.
Well, we're here.
I
mean,
know, and he
so-
was kind enough to start over again. But I had the water in the pool behind the house has been stagnant. It's not now, but it has been stagnant. So I had mosquito control come out. They have a threshold of 25 mosquitoes to put a trap in your yard. I had 261, and some of them were coming from the pool next door that's been sitting with water in it for the last 6 months. So, yeah, and there's junk everywhere. There's someone living in the driveway in a van. It's just, you never know what's going to happen from one day to the next. And it's, like I said, the thing is, they took a lot of the stuff from this house on Salmon and moved it over to another house on Pintail. So it's right down the block from where they are. And all they gotta do as soon as this is over, they can bring it all back. And then we have to go through this all over again. So they're not just getting rid of the junk, they're just moving it to another place while this happens.
Well, if, just assuming everything you're saying is true for a moment, which I'm not for evidentiary
Right.
purposes, but,
I
in a code proceeding, our remedies are fairly limited,
Right.
as you've probably heard. And when there's a violation, the first step is getting a violation. If there's a repeat, the penalties go up, but ultimately that's about as far as we can go.
Right.
Sometimes in certain extreme situations, we can go a little further, or my authority goes a little further, but in any event, is there anything else you'd like to tell me?
Well, they said they've been working on it since he was there. They haven't been. They started working on it. They've got an army of people over there. They did it for a couple of days, and some of the 20-minute visitors have been helping, but they didn't start until about 4 days ago.
Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am. Is there anyone else?
Yes. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name.
Dodie Barger.
Thank you.
And I do have a document for you. Do I give it to him?
Well, first of all, what is your
I
address?
live on the other side of
All
him.
right. So in terms of, what do you have in your hand?
It's just pictures to show you what I'm dealing with on my
Is that a
side.
speech or is it?
Well, I was going to read to you.
Oh, okay.
And there's pictures to go with it.
Well, so if the county wanted to take your photos and introduce it as evidence, or if you were intervening as another party, I know this is a little bit of lawyer speak, then yes, I would take evidence from you. But you're not technically a party yet, so I'm reticent to take actual photos. So you can read whatever you want, you could show me from where you are, but I can't introduce the photos in evidence.
And I'm not asking for that. I want
Okay.
you to be able to see what I'm saying as I speak, because the pictures are going to tell you a lot.
Okay, I think
Okay.
that's permissible.
Am I allowed to bring it up?
Yeah. Thanks.
So my name is Dodie Barger, and I reside at 11629 East Salmon Drive, which is next to the nuisance property at 11615. I purchased my home back in November of 2023, and at the time I knew the property next door was in disrepair with garbage everywhere. But I was assured by both of the realtors that code enforcement was working that area heavily, and that all homes were being asked to come to code and clean up their garbage. So I went ahead and took a chance and bought the property. But I never imagined that a year and a half later, we'd still be dealing with this. If you look at pictures A, B, C, and D, that will show you, the first one's not a great picture, but the little red house there on the right, that is my home. And the property line is like 10 feet, maybe 10, 12 feet off of that. All of that white stuff there is a broken down fence, garbage, and storage buildings that they've got lining up on that property. Unfortunately, because it's so close to my house, it gives the appearance that it's on my property. So after a few months, when I realized this was not going to be resolved anytime soon, I decided to hire a fence company to put up a privacy fence to hide that, so that when people came around, they wouldn't think that that was all my stuff. The first company came out and began setting up to install.
Ma'am, I just want to, just for a moment, I'd like to give a copy of this to them.
That's fine.
I've looked through everything. I just want you to have a copy of it.
That's fine.
Called due process. So, thank you, Mr. Tron. But I've looked through everything, and I want to hear what you have to say.
So I had, the first company came out and began setting up to take down the fence, and the supervisor came to me and said,
I'm
"We're not."
sorry, ma'am. Could someone, that's the second time. If you would, please just turn off the phone. Thank you.
So the supervisor came to me and said, "We're not going to be completing this job because they're cooking meth next door in the trailers or the sheds." And so he said, "We concern for our safety," and gave me my money back and left. So I had to hire another company who did come out. They put up a privacy fence, which is in those pictures. And I also put up a fence around the front of my yard for my German Shepherd and my Poodle, because they had dogs at the time that were constantly in my yard, and if my Shepherd got them, they were going to be hurt. So I put up that fence. The very first day, it was crushed down. And I was told that there was a path there for people coming to get drugs that would cut through that yard, and I had closed that off. So someone was upset and pushed that down, and I had to have my company come back out and repair that fence. I've not only had to put up with their garbage for the last year and a half, we listen to them fight on a daily basis outside in the yard. There are people, transient people there at all hours of the day and night. There is a man who just got out of prison, 27 years, living in a van in the front, angled towards my property. I have actually heard them make comments about when I come out of my house, which is very disturbing, that someone is sitting there in that front yard watching what I do. So I have a concern about that, which I have made known to the police. The police are there every week. Fire department is there often because he's always having fires when he's not supposed to have fires. And when he has them, they're not little fires. They are huge fires. I have pictures. My whole backyard is lit up, and I'm concerned that my property will catch on fire. So there's constantly a stream of transient people there. They have no regard for anyone. They're very loud. They come out at night around 11 o'clock at night and start banging on stuff and work till the early hours. And it's just very hard to enjoy my property. The last 3 pictures are my property, which I've got 20 years on them age-wise. I have cancer. I'm not in great health, but I still go out and keep my property up. I do it every day. And the unfortunate part about this, and this is alleged, but there is a guardian for the grandfather that she was brought down here to take care of and put him in a nursing home, had him sign everything over to her, so they have no money down on this property. They don't make monthly payments. They have no skin in the game on it. So they've got nothing to lose. They just do not take care of the property. It's gonna bring my property values down. And I put a lot of money into that house when I bought it, new electrical, new AC, new plumbing, and I'll never be able to recoup it with that property next door like that. Plus, I can't go out and enjoy my property because you never know if they're gonna be outside fighting, if they got their druggy friends over there, what's gonna be going on. I'm supposed to actually have a celebration of life for my husband in 2 weeks in my house, and I'm afraid to even have it.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Well, I have to cut off, you had an opportunity.
I know.
And
I just knew them for the people that lived there for a long time, and they were really nice, decent people, and this is so unfair.
Okay.
He didn't know what he was signing when he signed the deed for her.
So
I know that's not your area. It's just this is the kind of people we've been dealing with for.
Are there, well, and I have to, I said at the beginning that I can't, I understand the importance that you attach to, and how personal it has to be. But I have to, when the comments get personal in nature, I have to stop it. So.
Well, no, I'm just, if you don't care about anything, you don't take care of your house or your property most of the time.
All right. Is there anyone else from the public who wants to be heard on this? I've seen some reactions. So, okay, I don't see anybody else. Now, I do want to give you an opportunity to respond. That's fair. Go ahead.
Okay, yes, I am my grandfather. I moved down here to take care of my grandfather.
Okay, I was told he was dead, and he was told that I was dead. Somebody found me. I came down. Ever since I've been here, it's been nonstop harassment by my stepmother, who has constantly called the cops, children and youth, the fire department, code. There is a nonstop for 3 years, to the point to where I have tried to commit suicide because I can't deal with it anymore. Because I can't get nothing done. Because every time I turn around, they're calling another person on me. I couldn't take care of my grandmother and deal with code and deal with everything else that they were throwing at me. But, yeah, my grandfather got put into a home because my stepmother had no peace until she put him there. So, but I've been trying to keep the house cleaned up. It is almost an acre. It's an 11-room house. It needs so many repairs. It's unreal. And I am just one person.
There's 11 rooms in the house?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
It's a bunch of buildings all put together, too.
And it's not like I sit there and I do nothing. My yard looks nice. I have pictures to show you. I take care of the best I can.
Do you have those pictures on paper?
No.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Well, unfortunately, I can't accept them as evidence without taking the phone. So you've
If I just
testified
show
to
them
it.
you?
It's no, because I would just like I'm not going to consider the photos that were given. They're not proper evidence in this type of a hearing. But I did want to understand what the public was saying. So, but your photos also there'd be no benefit because I can't admit it in evidence. I don't know that it would change the way this case is going to go, to be honest.
Well, I just can show you that I have actually been working.
Right.
And I took pictures of my yard. I took pictures of everything, the screens, the boat sleeve that's now up and fixed, and the dock that's been tore down, and all that stuff.
Well, I
And
mean,
the pool.
the members of the public actually confirmed that there was work being done,
Yeah.
so, I mean, that's not
A lot of that
in dispute.
A lot of that debris stuff was mine from when I moved in back there. I had my camper there, which I ended up moving it.
And
I've
that's
been
what I think she was talking about.
trying
When
to-
we're moving it to another location, it's actually where he lives. He's moving his stuff back to where he lives.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm taking my debris, which is just stuff here and there, from where I,
And there's nobody living in a
Well,
van.
we're not really plowing new ground here, though, so here's what I want to do. Mr. Charlton, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
There was some kind of testimony from the first member of the public about the case possibly being resolved. Was this case closed and then reopened?
We had a case for RV occupancy, the camper, that was closed.
Okay.
And then the case was reassigned.
Okay.
And then from the front of the property, you don't see very many violations. And when the officer went out there, they didn't know getting access to the neighboring properties revealed the violations
I
in the
see.
backyard, so.
Well, I mean, I guess what I was getting is that they've indicated that there was only like a week or two notice, But you do understand, I mean, code's been looking at your property for quite some time.
Yeah, and I thought I took care of
Yeah,
that.
because
They call them on everything I do. and
Okay.
Everything.
Well, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna find that there's a violation. I don't, on these two cases, we've talked about the boat. I'm gonna have to give a reasonable time for that to be fixed.
the boat for.
Right. And the junk is a little more difficult. I think that's a bigger case, So what I'm inclined to do is, on the boat, I would probably give 15 days to abate it. That's enough time to move it or get a license.
The boat's being
or
moved right now.
Registration.
I
Well,
mean, as
so
we speak.
what you've got to do is call code enforcement to let them know you've abated the violation so they can come out and verify that. So I'm going to give 15 days. What's the county's recommendation on these cases?
Citrus County Code Compliance Division respectfully requests the special master assess a fine of $200 per day for both violations, with the administrative costs to begin after the date you deem sufficient to abate this violation. This amount was selected based on the actions of the property owners once they were advised of the violation. This amount superfluous given the severity of the violation and respondent's actions relative to this violation. We would also ask the special master additionally find that it's respondent's responsibility to contact the Code Compliance Division to allow for reinspection.
So on the case number 24-1785, which is the unlicensed inoperable, or I'm sorry, nope, that's case number 24-1745, the unlicensed inoperable car or vehicle. I'll do 15 days to abate that. It will be $200 a day if it's not fixed. You've already testified it is, so that shouldn't be a problem. On the junk case, I'm going to give, you've asked for 60. I don't think I can do that.
Well, it's the dock and the wood and that kind of stuff.
I know. I'm going to give 30 days to abate the violation,
Okay.
1 month, and I think it needs to be fixed before the rainy season really gets going.
Okay.
Okay? And I'm going to adopt the county's recommendation of $200 a day if it's not brought into compliance as ordered.
I appreciate it.
Okay? Now, I think you have one more case.
Yes, sir. Next case, case number CE 2024-10-01746, residential accessory use, Citrus County Land Development Code 3101I. The address is 116115 East Salmon Drive, Floral City. Property owner Gloria, Turney. Good service via posting the property and at the Lecanto Government Building. Exhibit A, photos taken during an initial inspection on October 3rd of 2024. Photos taken during corrective action inspection on March 11th of 2025. And final inspection on April 15th of 2025. Exhibit B, a copy of the notice of violation, copy of the notice of hearing, copy of the general pre-hearing order, photos of the posted property, and a copy of the posting affidavit I completed.
Is this are you going to talk about this one too,
Yes.
Mr. Costa? Okay.
And I just, for the record, the inspection from April 15th, their photos are not in here for the structure because I was unable to access the neighboring properties because both property owners was at work.
Okay. So, ma'am, I'd like to ask you to take a look at these documents. It's the same deal. This is, I guess, having to do with a residential pool and some violations having to do with the pool. Do you know when that pool was installed?
A long time ago.
Was it
But
before?
it's functioning and it works.
Mr. Costa, do you know how old this pool is?
Do not.
I mean, does it matter under this code section?
I think the statute goes back quite, almost to like 87.
I think that's right.
Here, that fell off, sorry.
Thank you. I guess without objection, these documents are going to be evidence. I'm just looking at the statute myself.
Sir, just want to let, that pool area, it's like an oasis too. It's got plants, I mean,
So I'll, Mr. Charlton, go ahead.
All right, thank you. Initial inspection was conducted on October 3rd of 2024. This inspection revealed a pool with a compromised safety barrier. A notice of violation was issued on October 3rd of 24. The swimming pool violation, which is a violation of Land Development Code. Then the property owner, it changed hands. A new NOV reflecting the new property owner had changed was issued on November 14th of 2024. On March 11th of 2025, a corrective action inspection was conducted, and I was able to get access to the neighboring properties to see the back of the pool. The structure was torn from the top of the pool enclosure throughout the sides. There was access from the front of the property and the back of the property to the swimming pool. I've had contact with the property owners and explained the seriousness of this violation. She stated it was due to the storm. And I still believe that the violation still exists. I have had any contact with them since, explaining to me or telling me that they've repaired the swimming pool.
Mr. Acosta, what do you want to say?
I don't have much to add to that other than the statute, the safety barrier does require some protection there.
And that there can't be gaps. Yeah, the regulations have expanded since I last looked at them. How much time do you need to fix this?
We're working on it.
We have most of the screen done the whole way around it. We just gotta do the top.
The roof and a couple of the.
I'm gonna give 30 days, okay? What's the county's recommendation?
Due to the public health and safety concerns, the Citrus County Code Compliance Division respectfully requests the Special Master assess a fine of $500 per day, along with the administrative costs to begin after the date you deem sufficient to abate this violation. This amount was selected based on the actions of the property owners once they were advised of the violation. We would also ask the Special Master additionally find that it is the respondent's responsibility to contact Code Compliance Division to allow for reinspection.
What is the health safety concern?
If somebody were to get access onto the property and fall into the pool,
Your Honor.
if they couldn't swim, they could potentially drown.
I believe the legal term is an attractive nuisance.
Well, I just don't see any, I don't see any gaps.
It's doorway.
Yeah.
It was a doorway that don't have the one-wall screenway, so they'd have to come actually on there where the pump is and everything to go in.
There is, so you're saying it's not just the roof, that there is an issue with the door?
Well, yeah, the door was there, but the screen that would go, but that's on that one woman's side. I mean, they initially had to walk to where the pool.
Well, so you've got an
is.
enclosure, right? So I guess what I'm asking is there a gap on that you can walk through?
There's
Just
gaps
that one.
on the sides and in the roof.
Okay,
Because
because I see
there's only
ones in the
one,
roof.
there's only one entrance way outside to get in there.
Yeah, but you just punch through the screen,
Well,
or if there's a gap in the screen.
Then they're gonna get poked by plants because they gotta,
Well, but that's the point. So it's got to completely enclose the pool, because the
Right.
idea is this helps protect if a kid gets on the property or whatever.
And I also
Sure,
put up
sure.
a fence across my front yard and a gate.
What?
I put a fence up across my front yard and a
Well,
gate.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what?
well, this,
Well, kids can get through pretty much anything
Yeah,
anyways.
I
I don't know how much this
it's a little
does, but.
picket thing anyway, but.
Okay, so I'm gonna grant 30 days to get this fixed, and yeah, I mean, I'm gonna recognize the county's concern about health safety, and so it's gonna be a stiff fine if that one's not fixed first. It will be 500 a day.
Okay, does that mean if I don't even get the roof fixed?
The whole, yeah, no, that thing has, because look, it appears that there's a big plastic
Oh,
piece.
you mean the plastic,
The
that has to
green.
come off there? Because those were made like over the dining, there's
shade.
like there's tables.
Those were made for shade.
Yeah, so it was made that way.
No, I don't think it was made to fall off
No,
the.
it's not made to fall in like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But I mean, where the shade is, it's like sitting there.
Well, Mr. Costa, then I have a question. Have you looked at these photos?
I did.
Okay. I don't want to set them up for failure in terms of, let's say they reinstall whatever was there. I mean, I don't know if that's to code or not, but that would be a separate violation the way I look at it. Does that make sense?
Does.
I mean, in other words, if they just get this green stuff back up somehow, the way it was, or is that abating the violation, assuming all the screens are fixed?
Well, the barrier actually only has to be like at 48 inches. So
I see
mean,
what
they-
you're saying.
Yeah, they're not.
So you don't care, you actually don't care about the roof
Well,
for
I'm
this
not
violation.
concerned. I wouldn't say I don't care.
But for this violation, it's not in the
Correct.
scope of it.
It's not part of.
You're just talking about 48 inches from the, okay, so, all right, so really I think what they're saying is, you've got to get at least 4 feet high,
We got that.
no gaps.
We got that.
Okay, you're gonna have 30 days and it'll be $500 a day if it's not corrected.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
You good?
Yes, sir. Next case, Judy Lapuma, case number 2025-03-118, code 18, I'm sorry, Code Officer Julie Wilkinson, page 18 of your agenda.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Your name, please?
Joshua Lapuma.
I'm sorry, last name?
Joshua Lapuma.
Good morning, sir.
Julie Wilkinson, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer. This is a repeat violation initially observed on March 5th, 2025. The address of the violation is 31 South Washington Street, Beverly Hills. This case number is CE 2025-00318, accumulation of junk and debris. A violation of Chapter 20, Article 3, Section 20-31A of the Citrus County Code of Ordinances. The property owner is Judy Lapuma. The property owner, Judy Lapuma, has been previously found guilty of the same violation at 34 South Davis Street in Beverly Hills on June 22nd, 2023. That case number is 218-6578 with $0 in imposed fines. That case was abated on July 28th, 2023. I have good service via posting on the property and posting at the Lecanto Government Building, and I also have a signed certified mail return receipt. I would like to authenticate the following documents and request they'd be admitted into evidence. Exhibit A, the findings of fact and order acknowledging compliance from previous case number 218-6578. Exhibit B, photos taken during an initial inspection on March 5th, 2025. Photos I took from my subsequent inspections on March 18th, 25th, 31st, April 9th, and and photos from the final inspection on April 15th, 2025. Exhibit C, a copy of the repeat notice of violation and hearing sent to Judy Lapuma, a photo of the notice of violation and hearing posted at the property, a copy of the general pre-hearing order, a copy of the posting affidavit, and a copy of the signed certified mail return receipt.
So, sir, do you reside on the property or?
I reside on this property. My parents have 16 rentals. I don't truly know how many they have. Some of our tenants are great. Some of them are, well, they're tenants. The 34 Davis property, I slightly remember it. I remember she was a very, very nasty person. We asked her to clean up, I think it was a fire pit problem and some trash around the back. I truly don't remember. I think it was logs. I think she was trying to burn a log that was the size of the podium, honestly, and she just wasn't working at it. I remember I finally had to go there, and as she was screaming at me, I had to clean everything up.
Well, sir, I can make this easy. I mean, at this point, I was just trying to figure out, you don't look like a Judy to me.
No, I mean, I
you
look
know,
good for a Judy,
so-
don't I? It's the hair.
So
It's
I
the
just
hair.
wanted to make sure that you had some kind of standing. So you reside on this property?
I
that we're
reside on
talking
this
about.
property. I
Okay.
manage the properties.
So before we get into the explanations, which
Yes,
I do
sir.
want to hear, I just want to ask you to look at these documents that Ms. Wilkinson has and let me know if you have objections to
I
them.
have no objections
You
to
don't?
anything in there.
Okay,
no.
all right. I mean, are you contesting whether there's a violation?
There was a violation.
Okay, and it's gone?
It's gone.
Do you disagree?
It's gone, it's a vision.
Okay. What days was it in terms of your case? I know I'm asking you to jump ahead a little bit, but maybe we can, maybe we can't.
The posting was on March 18th and it continued to be in violation until March 30th. So that'd be 13 days.
Okay. Do you disagree with that?
I don't disagree with that.
Okay, so really the only question here is what should we do about it?
Opinions and belly buttons, everybody has one. My only question, request would be to, and I do understand it's a repeat violation for the owner of the property, even though it's the tenant that is the problem, and I am the problem on this one. That was me. It was construction. I work a full-time job. I try to manage the properties, take care of my parents. It's life. If I get 5 hours of sleep at night, I'm amazed. I just ask that if we can waive the fact that it's a repeat, just for the fact that it was one tenant and now it's another tenant. It's not necessarily Judy and John doing it.
That I can't do.
Okay.
You know, and so this does happen fairly often with, people who own multiple rentals. There's just, sometimes that's out of the landlord's hands. And we do try to take that into account or at least I do when I assess the fine. I could do $1,000 a day for every day it was out, or I could do $1, so we try to take that into account. Ms. Wilkinson, have you heard anything you disagree with from Mr. Luke?
No.
Okay.
I would like to say that he's been very kind and working with me through the whole process.
Well, what is your recommendation then?
So my recommendation is the lowest I can go, which is $50 a day. I understand you can go lower.
I've only gone lower, I think, once in all my years here, and I'm not going to do it in this case. But Mr. LaPuma, I think you made your case in that $50 a day is about as low as the county. It is the lowest the county's willing to go, and that's normally what I do in this type of a situation. So my advice is just try and get 5 more minutes of sleep a night. And so in any event, I will find that there's a violation. It's a repeat, and $50 a day for 13 days, whatever the math that works out to.
$650.
That's going to be a fine. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on this case? All right, then you're done, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Next case, Robert J. Cooper, case number 2025-0175, Code Officer Erica Olson, page 9 of your agenda.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name.
Robert Cooper.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Erica Olson, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer, case number CE 2025-00175, accumulation of junk and debris, violation of Chapter 20, Article 3, Section 20 through 31 Alpha of the Citrus County Code of Ordinances. Address is 3407 South Country Club Drive, Inverness. This property is .28 acres and is zoned CLR. Property owner is Robert J. Cooper. I have good service via posting the NOH on the property and posting at the Lancanto Government Building. At this time, I would like to authenticate the following documents and request that they be admitted into evidence. Exhibit A, photos taken during my initial inspection on 6 February, corrective action inspection on 17 February 2025.
Erica, I can hear you.
You can't?
No.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I think leaning into the microphone is probably, or bending it down, a good idea.
What was after February 6th?
17th February, 26th February, 20th of March, 2nd of April, and my final inspection conducted on the 14th of April, 2025. Exhibit B, a copy of the notice of violation, a copy of the notice of hearing, a copy of the pre-hearing order, a copy of the posting affidavit, and a photo of the posting of the NOH on the property. On 06 February, I conducted my initial inspection and found that the property to be in violation of the above-mentioned ordinance. There was indoor furniture, totes, piles of clothing. Oh, I'm sorry, I just kept going. You want these?
Well, sir, what I'd like to ask you to do is look through these documents she's got. Let me know if you object to them being evidence. Unless you're not contesting that there's a violation. If you don't contest that there's a violation, we'll just move into how we deal with it.
Oh, no, the property definitely needed some cleaning, and I've been at it pretty good, but it's not quite there yet.
Okay. You need more time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then how much time do you think you need?
I would think a couple weeks would be great.
Okay. So normally what I like to do is I like to just look at the photos to make sure I'm not setting you up for failure. You know, if I give you 15 days, but it's really not enough time, I want to make sure. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, like this past week, I worked like 5 14-hour days in a row.
Exactly. Yeah. So it doesn't make a lot of sense that you get hit with some kind of crazy fine because you didn't. So you don't. If you want, you could just let me see the photos, but I encourage you to take a look and let me know if you have any objection.
Okay.
Sorry, all my papers.
Not a problem. It's a nice camera.
It's from our phones.
Are you guys trying to hide McGuire? Where's? There he is.
Okay, no objection.
Okay, then I'll take a look at them.
Okay.
And just for my own reference, is there anyone here who wants to be heard on this case from the public? There is someone? Okay. How big is this property?
Pretty small. It's 0.38.
Okay.
It's on a golf course, so.
The trees are. Okay, yeah, this is not an overnight thing.
Now, a lot of that, that's a trailer and truck you're seeing. Trailer has been loaded twice so far, and it's on its third load now.
And it appears, I mean, I don't think throwing a tarp over stuff is going to get you there, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could do it in 2 weeks if you really, really worked constantly.
Most of that you're seeing is gone.
Okay.
Front yard is just about clear as can be.
Okay.
Just the backyard still needs a little work.
Well, then before I issue an order, I would like to hear from the public. Sir, you raised your hand. You want to be heard? You don't have to. No one's going to force you. But if you do want to, you can come up to a microphone and be heard.
I think I'm good.
Okay. Is there anyone else? All right, I don't see anybody. What's the county's recommendation?
The Citrus County Code Compliance Division respectfully requests the special master assess a fine of $50 per day along with administrative costs to begin after the date you deem sufficient to abate this violation. This amount was selected based on the actions of the property owners once they are advised of the violation. We would also ask the special master to additionally find that it's the respondent's responsibility to contact the Code Compliance Division when the violation has been abated.
Have you heard anything that you disagree with?
No, the first day that I went out there, he was already on his own before we even got called cleaning up the property, so he has been working on it.
All right, then I'll grant 30 days, and if it's not brought in compliance in 30 days, $50 a day.
Terrific.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Next case, Manela J. Simmon, third, case number 2024-1850. Code Officer Cody McGuire, page 29 of your agenda. Expert on the case, Land Development Director Joanna Coutu.
I'm sorry, what page number?
29.
Okay, thanks. Good morning.
Good morning.
And we don't normally wait 2 hours to see Ms. Katu in action, so that's,
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your names.
Manley Simmon III.
Deborah Simmon.
okay. Good morning. And just before we get started, I try to ask this ahead of time. Are y'all contesting that there's a violation? Okay. What needs to be done in order to abate the violation from the county's perspective?
He needs to apply for a building permit.
Okay.
I think we spoke about this beforehand. Isn't this when you're requesting a one-time fine due to site modification?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what are, so you're not requesting any abatement? You're just requesting a fine?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And what is the fine you're requesting?
$2,500.
What's the, all right, I'll let you present your case. We're going to have to talk through it a little
Okay.
bit. Yeah.
Cody McGuire, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer. This is case number 202401850, a violation of the Citrus County Land Development Code Section 4002, site development without a development order or permit. The address is 1097 South Stray Oak Terrace in Crystal River. It is 0.48 acres and is zoned CLRMH. The property owner is Manley J. Simmon III. Good service via signed certified mail return receipt and posting of the Canto Government Building. I would like to authenticate the following documents and request they be admitted into evidence. Photos I took during my initial inspection on October 29th, 2024. Photos from a corrective action inspection, aerial photos dated May 24th, 2024. A corrective action inspection on January 27th, 2025. And then photos of my pre-hearing inspection on April 14th, 2024.
Well, why don't you tell me this? What was done incorrectly exactly?
So he has a couple loads of fill that was put down for like a foundation and a limestone like driveway to access the property.
And someone complained about it?
Yes.
Okay. So it's an unpermitted foundation and or driveway?
It would
Improvement with no
correct.
site plan?
Correct.
Okay.
I believe there's also grading and clearing. Is that correct as
Yeah,
well?
the underbrush was all pushed away. It would be easier if you've seen the photos.
I do want to see the photos. It helps me understand what's going on. But they got to show it to you first. So let me know if you object to them being evidence in this hearing.
Nope.
You recognize it? Okay.
That would be all the notices.
Oh,
Come in the mail certified.
yeah, I got them. Right here. Thank you.
Okay. Let's just take a look. They're admitted without objection. How big is this property?
About under a half acre.
Okay. Let me ask this. Is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on this case? I don't see anyone. Are y'all from Mississippi?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I can see it. It definitely looks like there was some work done. I think you've presented the case. Is there anything else that Ms. Katu, is there anything you want me to know? Okay. What's going on?
Well, basically, I went into contract with the general contractor to develop the property for me to, we were going to do it in phases. And one was get the site ready for a foundation. It was a money situation. And he went ahead and did it. I paid him. And I even got proof here that he had charged me for permits and everything, a total of around a little over $22,000, which, that's another story, but, and I didn't know anything about it till I received a letter in the mail. He notified me that he's been in contact with Cody. I've been in contact, trying to get this straightened out. I just want to get my house done. Needless to say, I came down in December to start the second phase. He hadn't got it done yet. So I started calling and talked to several people. Everybody was really good about it. And we decided he's no longer working for us, and we got a different route, and we have a new contractor going to be putting a modular home instead of the house that we had intended. And I have someone working on the permits, but they aren't completed with it yet, so they're working with that general contractor. I have a letter with.
Is, Mr. McGuire, have you heard anything that you disagree with?
No, everything I just heard as.
That's
he's-
your understanding of the way it went down?
Yes, sir.
And,
I
were you
actually spoke to his first developer.
That's
or
what I was
contra-
wondering.
He told me that typically in the construction world, they start to do all that, and then they'll apply for the permits and everything like that. And then, unfortunately,
Well,
I
as
did
you
lose.
and I know from these hearings, it's not uncommon. It's not best practice by any means, but unfortunately, it happens. It does happen. It's
Mhm.
crazy. But,
I,
yeah.
I did lose contact with that man, and then he did let me know that he was no longer working with him.
Okay. Well, it's useful to know. I mean, I think it. Look, there is a violation. I'm going to find that there's a violation, and you haven't argued about that, by the way, to your credit. I have no reason to disbelieve your version of the facts, which squares up complete with the county's version of the facts. So, in these situations, I normally will do something $2,500 to $5,000 when someone has some kind of intent. I don't think there was an intent here, but I have to assess a fine. Now, I encourage you to seek legal counsel on how to get that paid ultimately by whoever's actually responsible. I am going to assess a $1,000 fine, but this is how the system has to work for deterrence, and ultimately, I think your issue is going to have to be with the negligent contractor. But that's what I've got. Now, I didn't see anyone from the public, so unless you have something else, that's it.
No, I just hired someone to do something I can't do. And, yeah.
$22,000 mistake.
I think this looks. I think you're going to get there. I think this could be a nice property. So hopefully you won't think about it too much.
Can we turn this in? This is from our current
Contractor?
showing that we are in the permit process.
Yeah, I have no objection if you want to put that into the record.
Yeah,
That's
please.
it's not an issue.
It's just a timeline. We were hoping that it would all be taken care of by now, but it's taking long.
I totally understand.
And being out of town, 12 hours away.
Yeah.
It's
Y-
difficult.
y'all drive all the
I
way,
did,
or-
yeah, last night. I thought I was doing the right thing, obviously not.
Well, you are doing the right thing. I mean,
No, I mean hiring somebody, so.
you've got to trust them. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Does the county have any objection to this being in the record?
No.
Okay. I mean, this is what I call mitigation evidence that goes against the guilt. I don't think there is guilt. I think it's kind of a strict liability thing. So, all right, that's where we're at.
All right.
So this will be Exhibit C.
And where do we pay for it?
I'll issue an order and then get in touch with the county.
Also
Okay.
covered later?
Well, I don't know how they work that. That's out of my hands.
You'll get a document that'll state the fine in writing, and then you can just give me a call.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Next case, Levit Properties LLC, case number 2024-1263, Code Officer Cody McGuire, page 19 of your agenda. Expert on the case, Land Development Director Joanna Coutu.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name.
Connie Van Wheeler.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Van Wheeler.
Van.
Van? Okay. And are you an owner or principal of Levit Properties?
I own Levit Properties,
Levit
yes.
Properties. Okay, got it. And are you contesting that there's a violation on the property?
Well, I'm not sure. Can we just continue and see?
Yeah, that's right, that's fine.
Thank you.
Yep. Let's go.
Ready? All right. Cody McGuire, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer. This is going to be case number 202401263. Special requirements for all accessory structures, a violation of Citrus County Land Development Code 3102A. The address is 10381 North Denine Road, Denine, Florida. It is zone CLR and it is 0.49 acres. The property owner is Levit Properties LLC. Good service via signed certified mail return receipt and posting at the Canto Government Building. I'd like to authenticate the following documents and request they be admitted into evidence. It would be Exhibit A, photos taken during initial inspection on July 24th, 2024, a subsequent inspection on January 23rd, 2025, a corrective action inspection on February 6th, 2025, and photos of my final inspection conducted on April 14th of 2025. And then Exhibit B is going to be a copy of the notice of violation, copy of the notice of hearing, a copy of the signed certified mail return receipt, and a pre-hearing order.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit of a narrative before we start sharing the exhibits? What's going on?
So what's going on is Mr. Van Wheeler is wanting to put a home on the property. He has plans for it. They are not engineered stamped. Certified, I'm not the correct terminology, and that his builder is currently residing on the property to keep the items from going missing.
So the issue is, is there a building permit issued?
No, sir. No, it's storage on a vacant right now.
Okay, so does this abate if a permit is issued?
It would have to be cleared.
There's also some RVs on the site, so that wouldn't abate it. They can't live in the RVs either, but we don't have a permit application at this time.
Meaning even with a building permit issued, the super or whatever wouldn't be able to stay in an RV on site.
Right, because this is in code enforcement. He's lost that ability to ask for that while you have an active permit. Yes, assuming that you find it guilty.
I just want to make sure I understand. So if I find that there's a code violation, what if they lost the right to do?
You can ask for permission to live in an RV while you have an active permit going through, but they lose that right if they already have put it on there and are residing.
So if you put the cart before the horse, you lose the permission from the county to live on the property.
Right.
So if you ask for permission
Thank
to live
you.
there.
Is
and
that in
then
the
put
code?
RV on.
No, that actually was a direction from our county commissioners. It is a right that you can ask for. It's not automatic. So their direction was when you're in code, you've lost that ability.
That's
They also would have to establish the house before they can have these other structures on
for
there.
sure. I would
Okay, I'm
never-
sorry, I wasn't clear about that.
Well, I
too.
wouldn't argue about that. I guess I think it's an odd thing. I'm just speaking out loud that people could be placed in a different position with a building permit based on having a prior code violation that is brought into compliance.
It's not a right. It's something that you can request as part of an active building permit. So they've lost that extra possibility.
I would really think about that. All right, so not before me. Does the county's case make sense to you? No?
Well,
All right.
not exactly.
Yeah.
And the reason that I'm saying that is that Cody may have placed something out there. I'm sure that he did, but I didn't get anything until I got a certified letter in the mail. I called Cody the next day and said, hey, what I got to do? He went over it with me. The next day after that, I was over applying for the permits. We weren't ready to build. But the only reason that the stuff is there is that my former residence, my home, was on the water in Crystal River. I got flooded out. All the storms that came. And I had Pella windows, storm windows, and storm doors, and everything in the world. I had to get moved from the storm area.
Mm-hmm.
I only own one other lot, and that's the lot in question. So before the storms come, we knew they were coming. This is my builder. We were getting everything ready, and we took a load to my lot. It was late evening when we finished up, The next day we went out and my stuff was gone. I mean, over $5,000 of material was stolen.
Right.
So, and that's not even a fraction of what I had bought that I had to do something with. So I needed some kind of security. So he was kind enough to offer what we could do. And we did put a home on there, but it was for security reason. It wasn't for nefarious trying to do something out of
When you say home, and this is where I should be looking at the photos, but what kind of structure are you talking about?
It's a RV.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That we moved an RV on
Okay.
there. And we've tried to secure, I have building material. I mean, I got a cement mixer. It's all building material that's on the place. And he's watching it for me.
That makes practical sense.
Okay, and
But
excuse
it's
me.
against the code.
Well, as soon as I got my notifications, I asked Cody. I said, Cody, I've got someone on there. Can I do that? And he says, well, you have to go through getting the permit and then ask the county. So I didn't know I was giving up a right before I had a chance to get the right.
That's true in a lot of things. I mean, this is a lot of people don't know what all the code sections say. They still have to be responsible for it.
I understand.
And what the county has said here is that you don't necessarily have a right to be on the property anyways during the construction. They normally do it, I guess, as a courtesy, but in lieu of a violation, they're not going to extend that kind of a courtesy in the future. So, look, I mean, it's a fairly routine code violation from our perspective. Now, there are things that I've heard, at least in the past, the county is willing to do. Like, I think they have said they'll let you secure the property with a fence or something like that, but without the building permit being issued. I don't know if that's a policy, but look, I get your concern. I'm just saying I can't override the code, based on what I've heard. It doesn't really even sound contested. It sounds like y'all understand that there's a violation, but what you're saying is, that doesn't, you're putting us in danger of losing material, money, and how fair is that?
That's fair. I understand now that we got the cart before the horse. But we didn't know that at the time. My concern was the material.
I understand.
And I had to do something.
Yeah.
A fence was not even thought of, and
have you applied for the permit yet?
I have filled out the information.
Okay.
I have met with them, yes. They told me what I had to do, which is get a survey with the house being shown on the lot, because I didn't have that. I have building plans, but I don't have the home being shown on the lot. That is in the process of being done, and I'll have it as soon as they give it to me.
Well, what is the county wanting on this case?
Would it be, $100 per day plus administrative cost?
Okay, and does it abate once they, number one, so I think they have multiple options, right? So they can remove everything and then problem solved. Alternatively, they can obtain a permit and remove the RV. Are those the two ways this gets resolved?
Are there other things besides the RV on the site?
His construction materials.
Just construction
And some trailers.
Trailers, are they related to construction?
Yeah, you could use them for construction.
Okay. How much time would you need to do one of those two things?
Well, I'm at the mercy of architects, and so I don't know the answer to that. I mean,
Well,
I
you
wish
do
I
know,
did.
I mean, how much,
They
moving
could
an RV off the property isn't a problem. You can do that immediately.
That can happen.
Yeah.
But then I lose my security on the material, so.
Well, you need to move the material too if you don't have the permit. So that's what I'm saying. If you remove everything, you can do that in days, maybe hours. The second option is removing the RV and getting a permit. Those are the two options. So how long do you think it would take to get a permit at this point?
I don't know. They can tell me that better than I can. What's
Well,
the
they can't
average-
promise anything.
I don't want anybody to
Yeah.
promise anything.
Yeah.
You're asking a question I don't know the answer to, so I'm asking advice, not.
No, you'll be asking directions to me, and I'll be asking them questions. Yeah,
Okay.
So I think he wants to know what the average, if you can. I mean, I think that I'm not going to put you in a position of representing anything to be relied on.
Right, we can do house permits within 2 weeks.
Of a completed
A completed application, that's sufficient, yeah.
Which, the question
that-
I was asking was how backed up are the surveyors, and how long do they think that it would take to have to meet where I can apply? I have to furnish them with the footprint with the house on it, is what I understood.
Your site plan?
Yeah, to ask for the permit, I have to have that.
You need a site plan, yes, and he also would have to apply for a septic tank. The health department is much more backed up than the county is on that, so I don't know, but I think he's asking how long it would take on his side to get the site plan, and I don't know.
I mean, it's why I've already gone to the septic and well people, and they're also we're all waiting on the architect and the surveyor, and they're tied to each other, because without the survey, the architect doesn't know where to put it, and without the architect being able to talk to him, we don't know when. So I'm at other people's mercy.
I think in order to provide an amount of time, I need to see the evidence. So I'd like you to take a look at what he's got in terms of the evidence, and let me know if you have an objection to it being evidence.
What's that? Oh, I got that. I showed you. I got that. I guess I'm supposed to say if I have it, it's pictures of the property the way it is.
Right.
It's showing vehicles when people were there.
I'm not worried about that. I want to see how much material there is, and that kind of stuff is what I'm kind of looking at. I'll admit the documents without legal objection. So let me just take a look at, see what's going on in the property. Now, Mr. McGuire, has this been your case since the beginning?
Yes, sir.
When did you issue a notice of violation?
The first one was July 24th of 2024.
And how did you issue that notice of violation?
Through the mail.
Okay.
But it was sent to, I didn't get it.
Yeah, but it went to the address on the property appraiser website, which
They don't deliver, excuse me, they don't deliver mail without a permit. So you can't, it was impossible to get the mail. They sent it to the actual property site, but it's Denine is the post office.
Well, that's what what I was actually trying to tell you, which
They do
is,
not
it goes,
issue-
Guy, that's the last time. Just,
Beg your pardon?
I said, Guy, that's the last time. Let me just speak without
Oh, I'm
interruption,
sorry.
if you would. So it goes to the address on the property appraiser website. That's your responsibility to keep. It's not their responsibility to send it to, you maintain that address. So if it goes to a place that you need a permit to get to, whose fault is that? It's not the county's fault, number one. Number two, that first notice went in July. So the reason why I'm wanting to look at that is that it sounds like this case has now been percolating for several months. So it's not going to be the case that it goes 7-8 months waiting for a permit. I'm looking at the building material, and it does look like there's a decent. What are you looking to build? I mean, how big is this thing? Is it a single family?
2,600 square feet.
2,600. And how big's the lot?
3/4 an acre.
Wow. Okay.
Half acre?
That's what I had.
Oh, okay.
It looks bigger, but that's because I come from the main streets of Orlando, where a 1/4 acre is an empire. So, at any rate, what would you say you've got on the property right now in terms of building material?
I've got.
If you know.
I've got windows, I've got garage doors, I have electrical wiring, a lot of lumber, because a lot of that was purchased during COVID when And so I was, if I could get it, I would go get it.
I see concrete blocks.
Yes, there is. And I think Cody would, you know, for whatever reason of not getting the first notice, I didn't know that I put a post, I have a mailbox there. I did not know they would not deliver mail until Cody told me that he had sent something. So I went to find out about it, and they told me they didn't deliver mail unless there was a electrical pole that you had, and I guess you have to get a permit to get an electrical pole. But anyway, I contacted him immediately. You know, I didn't, you know, it sounds like it's been a long time, but to me, it's only been a few weeks.
I'm gonna give, what's the county's recommendation? You said 100?
Yes, sir.
Wednesday? I will give 60 days. If it's not brought in compliance in 60 days, $100 a day. So you've got two options on how to do it in 60 days.
Okay,
Get the permit or get it off the property.
okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Cody. I'll be in touch.
Next case, Augustine J. Manela, case number 2024-2213, Code Officer J.C. Charlton, page 20 of your agenda.
Hey, good morning.
Sir, would you like to sit? I can get a handheld mic if you'd prefer to sit.
No, standing is fine, thank you.
Okay. Can I ask you to raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name.
August Manela.
Thank you.
All right, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Are you contesting whether or not there's a violation on the property?
No, the short answer is no, but
Okay.
There are extenuating circumstances.
Well, I often make the mistake of putting the cart before the horse here, but normally if you're not contesting there's a violation, then the question becomes how much time do you need? Normally. How much time
Okay.
do you think you need?
I think it could be done in 60 days.
What is the county's recommendation on this case?
Citrus County Code Compliance Division requests $50 per day.
Is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on this case? Okay, I've got a member of the public.
I didn't hear the address.
It's 303 West Harvard Street? Nope, okay. Mr. Charlton, do you have any reason to believe I'd be setting him up for failure? That's okay. That I'd be setting him up for failure?
No, I don't think so. He's made great progress.
Okay.
I think that'd be good.
Well, Mr. Manela, I don't want to deprive you of an opportunity to speak, but I have heard everything I need to hear. In other words, you've conceded that there's a violation. You've said you need 60 days. He thinks that's fine. I'm willing to give it to you. Is there anything else that you think you need to say?
No, if the court's happy, I'm happy.
Okay, I'm happy. I will issue an order finding a violation and giving you 60 days to abate it. If it's not brought in compliance as ordered, there'll be a fine of $50 a day.
Very good. I can work with that.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Next case, Cheryl Zampich and Ronald Dean Sappenfield Jr. Case numbers 2025-50 and 2025-0108. Code Officer Cody McGuire, page 41 and 42 of your agenda.
Mine's pages 39 and 40.
It is. What did you say?
41 and 42.
41 and 42.
Yeah, I've got 39 and 40. Oh, no, it says 41, 42 on the agenda, but it's 39 and 40 in my packet.
Well, that would be my mistake.
Okay, all right.
Good morning, ma'am. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name.
Cheryl Zampich.
Thank you.
You know, as a person with the last name Waugh, I'm a W. And so I was always at the end of my lunchroom line in elementary school. And by the time I went to go get the milk, all the chocolate milk was always gone. And you're a Z, so I can't imagine. I mean,
Really?
you're even behind me in the line. So.
Yeah, that's for sure.
All right. Are you contesting whether or not there's a violation?
No, not at all.
And how much time do you need to fix it?
I don't know how long you can give, but do you know? Would it be 60 days or?
Have you gotten in contact with your son?
Pardon?
Have you gotten in contact with your son?
Yeah, but he's not here yet.
He's not here. I think 60 days can have it done, but it would have to get started.
Well, why don't I look at the photos?
I'm sorry?
I'd like to look at the photos, and maybe I can try to figure that out, you know?
Yeah, it's,
Do you want to look at them?
oh no, I see him every day. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Let me just take a look. And this is in both cases? So we've
The
got...
dates are the same in both cases, yes, sir.
And the photos are the same? We have 2 packets of photos?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
2 packets of photos, both
Mm.
dated the same for both cases, and then the third exhibit, I guess, would be all the not the findings, but all the mailing.
Are those all your vehicles?
Not mine, no,
Yeah.
but they're there.
I mean, whose are they?
My son.
Okay.
And the junk didn't seem too bad. It looked like a couch and some odds and sods that went with it.
Yeah, the junk case doesn't look bad on the junk scale. It's a 2.5.
Yeah.
You know? But on the vehicle, that's a lot of. You're running an impound there, you know.
It looks like a junkyard to me.
Well, my concern is what is your plan for getting rid of the vehicles?
Well, when my son gets back, he can tow them away or whatever you do with old
Mhm.
vehicles. And the junk stuff, I need to have enough money to get a big dumpster to come in the yard, and then the other stuff and everything, and then they come and pick up the dumpster, is what I had in mind.
Is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on either of these cases? This is on 8138 North Princess Avenue. Nope. What's the county's recommendation?
$100 per day.
I'm going to give 90 days to abate the violations.
Wonderful.
And if either of them isn't brought into compliance in 90 days, there will be a $100 per day fine.
Right, right.
Per
yeah.
violation.
No.
Per violation, right.
It'll
So,
be done.
Okay, all right.
Thank
That's
you.
it, thank you.
Next 2 cases on the agenda. Mary Putney. Case numbers 2024-2001 and 2024-2017. Pages 26 and 27 of your agenda. Code Officer J.C. Charlton.
And while Mr. Charlton's coming up, can we inquire as to if this is Mary Putney?
Well, hold on, so let's see what you've got. I'll let you start. Oh, actually, let's swear him in.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name.
Gerald Parker.
All right.
Tucker?
And
Parker.
do you reside on the property?
I do behind.
So are you?
That's my mother.
I see. Does your mother reside on this property?
Not anymore. She's passed.
Okay. Are you the heir?
My brother is the power of attorney.
Well,
For her, I mean.
If she's passed, then power of attorney is no longer active. I'm not trying to. I'm just.
Yeah. No.
Is there an estate? Is there a probate or anything?
We haven't done probate or nothing yet.
Do you have any knowledge of whether or not you and your brother or any other siblings are still like the heirs to your mother? Is it your understanding that you are a beneficiary of her estate?
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay. Then I'll let you testify here because you have an ownership interest in the property, obviously. Okay. What's going on?
All right, we have cases for junk and debris on the property. Case number 2024-02001 and case number CE 2024-2017, accumulation of junk and debris, violation of Chapter 20, Article 3, Section 20-31A, and unlicensed inoperable vehicles, Chapter 20, Article 4-2041 of the Citrus County Code of Ordinances. The address is 425 South Ember Trail, Inverness, Florida. Property owner, Mary Putney. Good service via posting the property and at the Lecanto Government Building. I would like to authenticate the following documents and request to be admitted into evidence. Photos taken during initial inspection on November 18th of 2024. Corrective action inspection on February 5th of 2025, and final inspection on April 15th of 2025. Exhibit B, notice of violation, notice of hearing, a copy of the pre-hearing order, and photos of the posted property.
So, sir, I mean, is it your understanding that there probably are violations on the property?
Oh, I know there is,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Okay, I mean, are you or anyone you know wanting to clean it up or take responsibility?
We've already started.
Have you had contact with Mr. Charlton?
No,
Okay.
I didn't know how all of this worked, so.
Then I still want to just talk through this so that you have the benefit of the way I'm going to handle this. And I'd like to ask you to take a look at these documents and let me know if you have any objection to them being evidence.
I don't.
Okay, all right, then you can waive that. Thanks. Okay, without objection, all the proposed exhibits are evidence in this case, and I'm just going to look through it so that I have an understanding.
No, there are pictures.
That's a little
there.
higher on the junk scale than 2.
There's pictures from yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me see. Yep. I mean, Mr. Charlton, have you had any contact with the late Miss Putney or anyone else?
No, sir. Yesterday, doing my final inspection, I was approached by a gentleman and a young lady out there who stated he was the grandson, and that was it. He asked me what I was doing and taking photos, and I explained the violation.
Do you know who that
Which was my son.
Okay.
It was his mess or his mess.
I gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, what are they going to do about it? I mean, are y'all? How long do you think y'all need or they need?
Well, I've already rented a dumpster and we filled it, and then whatever pictures are left from yesterday, I mean, we're almost there.
Okay. Yeah, because what's the county's recommendation on these cases?
Citrus County Code Compliance Division respectfully requests that the special master assess a fine of $100 per day for both violations, with administrative costs to begin after the date you deem sufficient to abate the violation. The amount was selected based on the actions of the property owners once they were advised of the violation. This amount is appropriate given to the severity of the violation and respondent's actions relative to this violation. We would also ask the special master additionally find that it's respondent's responsibility to contact the Code Compliance Division to allow for reinspection.
Okay, I'll give 30 days on each case, and if it's not brought into compliance in the 30 days on either case, there'll be a $100 a day fine.
And what are the two cases?
It's case number 24-2017, which is the unlicensed inoperable abandoned vehicles. It does look like there's a few, so they've got to be removed or made properly operable and tagged. And then there's case number 24-2001, which is the junk case. Okay. but there's 30 days to fix both sets of violations, you know, so, but it's conceivable that one could be fixed, that case goes away, but then you still have a violation. And
Right.
in any event, that would be $100 a day on each case.
Now,
so.
what makes a vehicle being non-code compliant sitting on the property?
Well, I'll read.
I just don't have a full understanding of that.
Well, so that is in code section 20-41, and what it says is, and we'll have to look at the definitions a little bit, but it shall be a violation of this article for any person, firm, or corporation to keep, dump, store, place, or deposit abandoned, unlicensed, inoperable, junked, disabled, wrecked, discarded, or otherwise unused vehicles, or vehicles without a valid registration or tag on any property, street, or highway. So, for example, an expired tag, something that's clearly inoperable with like the tires all deflated or something like that. Those are examples.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on these cases? No? Okay. That's it then. Okay?
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
So then, once I got it all, then I just contact you?
Definitely.
Okay. All right, that'll work.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Next case on the agenda, Kathy Sorachi, case number 2025-302, Code Officer Alan Jonason, page 30 of your agenda. I think. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Please state your name.
Kathy Ann Sirachi.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Alan Jonason, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer. This
And
is
Mr. Jonason, I will stop. Sorry. Are you contesting whether or not there's a violation?
No.
Okay. How much time do you think you need to fix it?
Christian, this is a repeat.
I stand corrected. Then we're going to have to talk about it. Yeah, go ahead.
This is a repeat violation initially observed on 18 May 2022. The address of the violation is 500 South Arlene Avenue, Inverness, Florida. This is case number 2025-00302, unlicensed inoperable vehicles, a violation of Chapter 20, Article 4, Section 20-41 of the Citrus County Code of Ordinances. Property owner Sorachi Kathy A. has been previously found guilty of the same violation at the same location on 21 July 2022, which was case number 216-4842, with a fine of $600 and additional administrative fees and imposed fines. That case was abated on 4 October 2022. I have good service via posting the notices on the property and posting at the Lecanto Government Building. I would like to authenticate the following documents and request that they be admitted into evidence. Exhibit A, findings of facts, order imposing fine, and order acknowledging compliance from previous case 216-4842. Exhibit B, photos I took during my initial inspection on 4 March 2025, and photos I took during my subsequent inspections on 17, 20, and 27 March 2025, on 2 and 10 April 2025, and photos from my final inspection on 15 April 2025. Exhibit C, a copy of the notice of violation and hearing sent to Sorachi Kathy A., a copy of the posting affidavit and a photo of the notice of hearing posted on the property, and a copy of the pre-hearing order.
Could you give me a little preview here? Is the property still not in compliance?
The property, as of yesterday, was not in compliance.
Okay. And, all right, that's all I needed to know. So, ma'am, I think we do have to walk through this, and I'd like to ask you to take a look at these documents and let me know if you have any objection to them.
Well, the first time I was in a violation, it was for a vehicle that was registered, and the tag wasn't put on the vehicle, and I had called him that same day he was there and asked him to come back and see that it was, and he refused. All that stuff has been removed. That vehicle, the truck has been removed, and I've made 4 trips to the dump since
This is just about
these.
unlicensed vehicles.
Oh, well, Well, this car's not here, this truck.
Well, ma'am, here's what I'm actually just asking, which is, I want to hear what you have to say about the photos, but all I need to know right now is, do you object to them as a legal matter? Like, is that not your property? Do you think these are doctored or fake photos? You know?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I think that they were real photos, but the vehicles are not all there. And I have a vehicle that has tranny problems. I had it worked on, and I didn't show the back part of the vehicle, and I thought that was legal to do it that way.
So all I need to know is, have you had a chance to look through all the documents?
Well, I didn't look through all of
Yeah,
them.
please take your time and let me know.
Well, I went to court on the other things.
We have a citation matter on different violations on the
All
property.
this has been taken care of. That one vehicle. Well, the vehicle is not showing that it's up against the,
It's an inoperable vehicle that's flat.
Mr. Jonathan, I'll handle it, yeah.
well, I didn't know that couldn't stand like that. That car happens to be a very rare car, and it was someone who put it there. It's not my vehicle.
Ms. Rachi, you're talking a lot about photos that I haven't seen, so what we need to get to is, I need to be able to see what you're talking about, so that's why I can't look at it until you've had a chance to look through. I don't
Well, do
need
you wanna
comment,
bring it to him?
ma'am, I just want to know, as you look through, do you have any legal objection to those documents being evidence in this hearing?
No, I don't.
Okay, then let me take a look at them and we can talk about them.
Okay.
All right. Okay, ABC. So I will admit what's been proposed as exhibits A, B, and C. I'm just going to take a moment to look at them so that I can understand what Ms. Sirachi's talking about. Let me look here. Okay. So, Mr. Jonathan, from your perspective, how many vehicles are the subject of your case?
So as of yesterday, there was 2 vehicles. There's, I believe it's a Ford Thunderbird that's in front of the garage there that has 2 front flat tires. And then the white car that's off to the right of the property also appears inoperable due to flat tires.
I don't have flat tires on that vehicle.
First of all, don't act like you don't know what a Ford, is that a Ford Thunderbird?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say, don't act like you don't know what a Ford Thunderbird is. You had one. At any rate, no, I'm joking, I'm joking. So you're saying that the cars, neither of them have flat tires?
My Buick, I have a Park Avenue that had tranny problems. I had it worked on. It still runs, but it doesn't go out of second gear. So it would only go in first gear, but it doesn't have any flat tires on it.
All right, let me just look through this again. That's the white one, right?
That's the white one to the
one's
right.
Buick.
That's my vehicle.
Okay. You're saying it works?
Well, yeah, I can start it and all, but I don't have my insurance on it because I transferred it to a truck that my son had given me because I was having tranny problems with that. And I was working, he was working on it.
I mean, you wouldn't take a car that only goes into second gear out to Walmart, would you?
No, I didn't. I parked it.
Okay.
And I re-registered a different vehicle.
Okay.
And the green car is not mine. I left it there because it's very important to the person who owns it. He was a mechanic. He went out of business, and he put a lot of things on my driveway.
And you don't think those tires are
Those were
Deflated?
flat,
Okay,
yes.
Okay. And what kind of car is that?
I don't, it's a Ford, a Roman numeral 2 something. I don't know what it is. It's
Okay.
not a Thunderbird. He said there's only 5 of them in the country.
Okay.
He had it up to the minute at one time, so.
Well, look, I think you've definitely got a problem on that car because that fits the code for sure. The white one, it's interesting. Mr. Johnson, what's your case for why the white car would satisfy this?
When I observed it, it appeared that the tires, at least one of the tires was not inflated.
It's based on the tires.
Yes, sir. I mean, I can't drive the vehicle. I can't go on
Right.
the property to
Yeah, yeah.
check. But yeah, based on the,
Well,
and she's
no.
admitted that it's inoperable.
No, well, I can run it, but I'm not gonna use it. I mean, it actually runs. It just, something keeps, the filter on the tranny keeps sucking up and it stops.
Well, let me.
So he was supposed to fix that for me.
I want you to read. I'm going to read to you the unserviceable vehicle section of what the code says. Unserviceable vehicle or vehicles shall mean vehicles which have any of the wheels or tires dismantled or uninflated, or which are missing any parts required by motor vehicle law for travel on public streets, or which are in such condition that would render said vehicle incapable of normal operation under its own power, including being supported above existing grade level, including but not limited to other, so it's, so what are the dates? I mean, what are you seeking, Mr. Jonathan?
So I conducted my initial inspection on 4 March and observed that the property was in violation. And then during my subsequent inspections, there was no change. The Citrus County Code Compliance Division respectfully requests the special master assess a fine of $150 per day, along with the administrative costs to begin on the date of the posting of the property, which was 5 March 2025, and continue until yesterday, 15 April 2025. That would be 41 days at $150 per day, totaling $6,150. And a fine of $250 per day from this day forward until the violation is abated.
Why haven't you abated at least that green car? And since
Because I've asked him to remove it several times, and he's out of the county working, and he paid somebody to come and get it, and they didn't because the tires were flat. So, I can't move it. I couldn't afford to. I'm on a fixed income. I'm on Social Security. So $6,000 would be really out of my realm because I live from check to check.
Well, I am going to find that there is a repeat violation. I find that, frankly, I don't really think it's disputed. And I think you have the authority. I understand the fixed income thing, but you do have the authority to remove that green car, right? I
didn't want to get rid of it because
I get it.
It was a good car for him. He wants to restore it.
Well, he's going to need to start paying the fine. You're incurring a fine to store that car on your driveway. Essentially, is what's happening. So,
well, the owner of his shop died, so they sold his building, and he had to get out of his business. He's been in mechanic for like 40 years in this county.
Is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on this case? This is 500 South Arlene Ave. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to adopt the county's proposed, order from March 5th to April 15th. Frankly, that's low by our repeat violation standards, Ms. Sirachi. So it's going to be $150 a day up until today, and from today's date forward, it'll be $250 a day until it's fixed. So that's the order.
Thank you.
Good luck.
And what about the other property, 465 that I own?
I don't know anything about it.
We're not here
Well, that
for
was under code enforcement also, and I had gone to court for that.
You also
and-
have fines against that property as
Yeah.
well, but we're not here today for that.
Well, I don't know anything about what you're doing with it.
Well, I encourage you to seek legal counsel or talk to the county about it, okay?
Next case, Una Mae Williams, case number 2024-2000, Code Officer J.C. Charlton, page 35 of your agenda.
Now, sir, this is the case that you're here for, correct? It's 4266 South Ember?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Case number CE 2024-2000, accumulation of junk and debris. Chapter 20, Article 3, Section 20-31A of the Citrus County Code of Ordinances. Address is 4266 South Ember Trail, Inverness, Florida. Property owner Una Mae Williams. Good service via posting the property and at Lecanto Government Building. I would like to authenticate the following documents and request that they be admitted into evidence. Exhibit A, photos taken during initial inspection on November 18th, 2024. Corrective action inspection on February 5th, 2025, and final inspection on April 15th, 2025. Exhibit B, notice of violation, notice of hearing, a copy of the pre-hearing order, photos of the posted property, and a copy of the posting affidavit I completed.
Okay, without objection, what's been proposed as Exhibits A and B is evidence.
An initial inspection was conducted on November 18th, 2024. Photos depict appliances, discarded household items, garbage, and debris on the property. I've had no contact with the property owners regarding these violations. As of my final inspection on April 15th, the property remains in violation.
Sir, would you like to come up and tell me about this property? And again, thank you. I would ask you to, you're already sworn in, so I would ask you to just put your name and address on the record.
Roger Alvar, 4309 East Trail X, Inverness.
All right.
Yeah, that's only one of the properties that were just garbage strewn. And a lot of it comes down to the drug dealing. I hate to say that because I know this is a courtroom. You don't just accuse people, but you know what? When you see it, it's like, it's undeniable. So these two properties and that other guy that was here, you know, I'm not saying they're all related, but they are all connected, if you know what I mean. And I don't know what else to do, but come here and complain? Is that the right thing to do?
I don't know what's right, but you have the opportunity to do so.
Well, that's a good thing.
It's better than not having it.
Well, there's just so much of it, and I'm not done yet. I have to go next door, I guess, and I add to more of your workload. Really, and I'm glad that something's happening, you know. But I was told also that probably this one here that didn't show up belongs to a consortium that has no interest in cleaning up any of the properties that they own. But that's just hearsay.
Why wouldn't they?
It's all hearsay. But like, there was maybe it was a tax forfeited piece of property on the end of McCartney Loop. Now, there's probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 lots. The guy died, probate, blah, blah. I think it went tax forfeit. And then a whole group of the most undesirables kind of somehow acquired it. Lots of consternation from them and their cohorts. Where were we going with this? Why, what? You asked me a question? I think I got sidetracked.
Well, no, I'm just interested in what you have to say about this property. It's 4266 South Ember Trail, and
the garbage dump.
It looks like it has a blue kind of, one of those portable covers there that you use for tailgating and type stuff, and it's got some tires and some fencing material, and there's definitely junk.
But there's another guy that he lives in an RV. He doesn't have any electricity, so he has to mooch from a garden hose across the street for water. I don't know where he's getting his electricity from. His license plates are expired, the driver's license. Why would he have insurance? So that's $600 a day they're finding that guy to live there. And there's nothing you can do about that until, I don't know, until they just keep adding up anyways, So there's that. And I know that's the law, that's all you can do. So sometimes you just feel like spinning a wheel. I hope I answered a question. I feel like I rambled.
I'm here to listen, so
I don't know if it's what I'm saying. I mean, if it's my neighborhood needs help. I'm calling the police, the fire department all the time, and that's not here for you to hear all that. But it is the same people. It is the same addresses that it all comes from.
All right, well, sir, if there's nothing else, I appreciate it.
Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Charlton, what's the county's recommendation?
$200 per day.
10 days, $200 a day.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next case, Hilda K. Gillette and Hilda K. L. Felicity, case number 2024-1939. Code officer on the case, Erica Olson, page 14 of your agenda. Expert on the case, Joanna Coutu.
In order to not break for lunch, which I understand is usually the county's preference to drive through, I'm going to try and expedite these unless you have objection to that. Okay.
Do not.
So this is case number 24-1939. What exhibits do you have?
I have Exhibit A, photos taken during my initial inspection on 18 November, corrective action inspection 13 February, and my final inspection conducted on the 14th of April. Exhibit B, a copy of the NOV, a copy of the NOH, copy of the general pre-hearing order, copy of the notice of hearing posted on the property, and a copy of the posting
Without
affidavit.
objection, they're admitted as evidence in this case. And let me just take a quick look so that I understand. Oh. You sure? Yeah, it looked okay.
Rabbit Lane? Yeah, it is, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the right case number. All right, so storage on a vacant parcel.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Coutu, do you have any testimony you'd like to offer?
No, it's a very, very small lot, and no applications as of today.
How small is it?
0.18 acres.
Wow, okay. I see they've got stuff going on. There's definitely some storage on there. What's the county's recommendation?
The Citrus County Code Compliance Division respectfully requests that the special master assess a fine of $100 per day with administrative costs.
7 days, $100 a day.
Thank you.
Next case, MFG Properties LLC, 2025-062, Code Officer Julie Wilkerson, page 21 of your agenda.
Julie Wilson, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer. This is case number 25-00062. Special requirements for all accessory uses, a violation of Citrus County Land Development Code 3102A. The address is 2404 West Windchime Loop in Citrus Springs. Property owner is MFG Properties LLC. I have good service via posting the notice of hearing at the property and at the Lecanto Government Building. I would like to authenticate the following documents and request to be admitted into evidence. Exhibit A, photos taken during an initial inspection on January 17th, 2025. Photos taken from a corrective action inspection on February 6, 2025, and photos from my final inspection conducted on April 15th, 2025. Exhibit B, a copy of the notice of violation, a copy of the notice of hearing, a copy of the general pre-hearing order, a photo of the notice of hearing posted at the property, and a copy of the posting affidavit.
Okay, exhibits A and B are admitted as evidence. Is there anyone from the public who wants to be heard on this case? I don't see anyone. I assume that this is supposed to be vacant, doesn't have a permit for a principal use or anything like that?
That's correct.
What's the county's recommendation?
$100 per day.
7 days and $100 a day.
Thank you.
Next case, Nona Vision Corporation, case number 2024-1189, Code Officer Cody McGuire.
Nona Vision.
Nona Vision.
I know them well.
A couple months ago, wasn't it?
Have you had any contact with Nona Vision?
They signed for something.
Wow, okay.
You couldn't tell what the signature was, but
That's interesting.
it wasn't verified enough for me to accept it, so I posted it.
Sure.
But Nona Vision, Cody McGuire, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer, case number 2024-01189, a violation of Citrus County Land Development Code, Section 4002, site development without a development order or permit. The address is 3013 West Eunice Drive in Citrus Springs. It's a 1/4 acre, and it's zoned RUR. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. The property owner is Nona Vision Corp. I have good service posting at the property and Lecanto Government Building. I'd like to authenticate the following documents and request to be admitted in evidence. Photos I took during my initial inspection on July 1st, 2024. Photos of a subsequent inspection on August 15th, 2024. Aerial photos dated May 6th, 2024. And a corrective action inspection on December 11th, 2024. And a pre-hearing inspection on April 14th.
What are you seeking in this case?
A one-time fine.
Of what?
$5,000.
I'd like to see your evidence.
Okay.
All right. Exhibits A and B are admitted. It's just that the site was cleared? Or what happened?
There was a
stop work order back in June of 2024?
Yes, sir.
Did they clear cut the trees off the property?
Yeah,
Did
it
they
was
grade
clear
the
cut. It
property?
was graded. The house was formed. It looked like it was ready to be poured, and then it was left.
So they never had a permit?
They were never issued the permit.
Did they apply for one?
They did. They applied back in 2023. It's been sitting waiting for payment and pickup since March 5th of 2024.
Wow. Are you sure they're the owner of the property?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
According to this Citrus County property.
I'll assess the fine, $5,000.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, Elter Pierce, case number 2024-2095, Code Officer Erica Olson, page 25 of your agenda.
This is case number CE 2024-02095. Storage on a vacant, 5795 South Choctaw Way. It is listed as vacant. Owners Elta Pierce and the Pierce Trust. How expedited do you want me to be with the?
What exhibits do you have?
I have exhibits, A, photos taken during my initial inspection on 27 December.
You have photos in Exhibit A, and you have some notices in Exhibit B.
Yep.
All right, then they're admitted as evidence with no objection. Is there anyone for the public who wants to be heard on this case? All right, I'll take a look. And the photos were taken on the dates indicated?
Yes, sir.
And you took the photos?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you had contact with the owner?
I have. I've actually met her out at the property.
Do they understand what needs to be done?
Yes, she does.
Have they said they'll do it?
There has been progress made. There was RVs on the property that have been removed, and there was a shipping container that has been since removed.
Have they told you how much time they need?
She had indicated that it was going to be abated before this hearing. However, when I went out to do my final inspection, I mean, there's still some fencing material and like garbage cans that are on the property.
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot. I would say I'm going to call her and let her know what you've said, because I have been in contact with her, but I think that it could be done in a couple weeks would be fair.
What's the county's recommendation?
$100 per day with administrative costs.
Okay, 30 days, $100.
Thank you.
Next case, Marian D. Weeks, case number 2024-1898, Code Officer Cody McGuire, page 34 of your agenda.
All right.
Same as Erica?
I'm sorry?
Cody McGuire, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer, case number 2024-01898. It is special requirements for all accessory structures, a violation of Citrus County Land Development Code 3102A. The address is 2221 North Georgia Road in Crystal River. It's zoned MDR, and it is 3.20 acres. The property owner is Marian D. Weeks. Good service posting the property and posting at the Canto Government Building. I'd like to authenticate the following documents and request they be admitted in evidence. Photos taken during my initial inspection on January 22nd, 2025.
So you have photos in Exhibit A and notices in Exhibit B and a copy of my pre-hearing order, correct?
Correct.
All right, they're admitted as evidence without any objection. I just want to take a look. I don't see anyone from the public who wishes to speak.
And it was construction materials.
I see. And you took the photos on the dates indicated on the photos?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like a whole lot, but have you had contact with the owner?
No, sir.
All right, what's county's recommendation?
That was $200 a day.
And it's supposed to be vacant?
Correct.
All right, 30 days, $200?
Yes, sir.
You said, okay, $200 a day.
Thank you.
Next case, Christine Brock, case number 2025. Oh, did she? Okay, I'll do mine. Next case, Cynthia and Joshua Critchfield, case number 2024-2079. Code Officer J.C. Charlton, page 10 of your agenda. Yes, this is a case for junk and debris.
All right, you've got exhibits A and B.
Yes, sir.
All right, then we'll admit them without objection. I don't think the Critchfields are here, and I'll take a look at them. Did you or another code compliance officer take these photos?
I took the photos.
Okay. How does it feel to be out in the field regularly again?
I liked it at first. It gets me out, but it catches up when you've got other things going on too.
All right. Well, this is a yeah. I don't know. It's a 3 on the junk scale.
You made good progress.
Yeah. What's the county's recommendation?
$50 per day.
Okay. I mean, honestly 14 days and $50 a day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next case, Micah and Jessica E. Hurst, case number 2025-0058, Code Officer Julie Wilkinson.
Julie Wilkinson, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer.
Page 16, sorry. Case.
Case number 2500058, accumulation of junk and debris for address 2173 West Tacoma Drive in Citrus Springs, Florida. Property owner Micah R. and Jessica E. Hirsch. I have a good service via signed certified mail return receipt. Exhibits A are photos from my inspections, and Exhibit B are the notices.
Okay. They're admitted without objection. And you took all the photos in here on the dates indicated?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what do you rate this on the junk scale?
I would say like it was like a 5, but then they hid some of it and organized it, so then it would probably go down to a 4.5, only because it looks slightly better.
I agree. What's the county's recommendation?
$100 a day.
All right. Just based on its place on the scale, I'll give 30 days and, I'm sorry, 50 you said? $100 a day. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next case, Stacy Lee Johnson, case number 2024-2211, Code Officer Alan Jonason. Page 11, I'm sorry, page 17 of your.
You got to watch out for those flags. They pop out of nowhere, you know.
Crisis averted. What a stain on a 30-year Army career that would have been. Alan Jonason, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer. This is case number 2024-02211. Address is 4878 North Redwood Avenue, Hernando, Florida. Property owner is Johnson Stacy Lee. I have good service via posting the notice of hearing on the property. I've also had contact with the property owner. They were in the process of cleaning it up. I anticipate it'll be done in the next 72 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have two exhibits, Exhibit A, which is photos of the property, and Exhibit B, which is the administrative paperwork.
I'll be happy to take a look at the photos. We'll admit them both as evidence. And let's see here. Well, I'm sure you're right. Yeah.
Yes, sir. It was just about done, but there were still some things there, and I had to get going, so.
All right, 10 days, $50 a day.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Next case, Richard E. Moore, case number 2025-0015, Code Officer Alan Jonason, page 22 of your agenda.
Alan Jonason, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer, case number 2025-00015, accumulation of junk and debris. Address is 2522 South Creason Terrace, Inverness, Florida. Property owner is Moore Richard E. Good service via signed certified mail receipt. I have two exhibits to enter. Exhibit A, which is photos of the property. Exhibit B, which is the administrative paperwork.
Okay. I'd like to take a look at the photos. Exhibits A and B are admitted without objection. No one from the public to be heard. And what do you rate this on the junk scale?
Well, because it evolves constantly, I would say probably a 6.
Wow, okay. It's not good. I put it out of 5. No, I mean, you see some real, I don't know, we might have to make new categories for some of these folks, but anyways.
Wait, does it go to 10 or?
It'll go to 10, 1 to 10.
Okay, all
you
right.
know, no violation is a 0.
True.
Right.
True.
So.
True, but now that I know 10.
Yeah.
5.
Okay.
I'll agree with you, 5.
Okay.
I thought maybe it was.
I think we're on the
like
same
15.
page.
Okay.
What's the county's recommendation?
$100.
All right, then I will do 30 days, $100.
Thank you.
Yep.
Next case, Sean and Tamara Wilson, case number 2025-0016, 0069, Code Officer Erica Olson, page 36 of your agenda.
This is case number CE 20250069, accumulation of junk and debris, 7430 West Green Acres Street, Homosassa. Sean and Tamara Wilson are listed owners. Good service via posting the NOH at the property and posting at the Lecanto Government Building. I have two exhibits. A are photos, B is the administrative paperwork.
All right, they're admitted without objection. I'll take a look at the photos. There's no one from the public to be heard. Thank you. Miss Becker was the queen of one junk cases, like 1 and 0.5s and 1.5s, and really made me agonize on a lot of cases. Let's see.
This is not
this
that.
one, no, this one's not a close call. This is. What's the county's recommendation?
$150 per day along with administrative costs.
And when did you start the case? Okay, I'll give 30 days and $150 a day.
Thank you.
Next case, William Joe Young, case number 2025-0168, Code Officer Alan Jonason, page 38 of your agenda.
Alan Jonason, Citrus County Code Compliance Officer. This is case number 2025-00168, accumulation of junk and debris. Address is 1350 North Reed Terrace, Inverness, Florida. I have good service via signed certified mail receipt. I have two exhibits, Exhibit A, which are photographs, and Exhibit B, which is administrative paperwork.
They're admitted without objection. Thank you. Page 1, beautiful lawn. Page 2, beautiful lawn. Page 3, that's where the rubber hits the road. Well, more seriously, actually, on the first couple pages, what is the violation? Is it the stuff in the porch or by the garbage cans? I mean, I don't know if you are showing it for.
So the first picture, this is just an overall view
Okay.
of the property.
All right. That's fine.
And
Like page 3, I see it.
there was something there, and I think it was just a trash can that had been knocked over, and there was also a couple like plant pots that were there, but the majority of the
It's
stuff
the.
was on the right.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I just want to make sure. I didn't see it on the first couple pages. Let's see. Definitely see it on the.
And
Oh, and then later on, yeah.
Yeah, it evolves kind of.
Yep, it does. Okay. What's the county's recommendation?
$100 per day.
We'll do $100 a day and 15 days.
Thank you.
Next case, Christine Brock, case number 2025-0060, Code Officer Erica Olson, page 6 of your agenda.
This is case number 2025-00060, accumulation of junk and debris, 7550 West Turkey Neck Court, Homosassa. Good service via posting the NOH on the property and posting at the Lecanto Government Building. I have two exhibits. A are photos that I've taken, and B are the administrative.
They're admitted without objection. Do you like the new clock in the back? I don't like it at all.
You don't like it?
I mean, I like the idea of it. I like that it gives us more information, but if I want to know the time, half the time I've got the temperature or I've got the.
You have to wait.
Yeah,
You have to
I mean, I don't like
take
having to
through,
wait,
and I'm like-
as you know. So, let's see. What's the county's recommendation on this?
$150 per day with administrative costs.
Have you had contact with the owner?
No, sir. And there are previous cases at this address that have abated in the past, so it's, goes in and out.
I see.
constantly.
Wow. This is pretty, junky. This is a good solid 7-ish, I think. All right, I'll do 30 days, $150 a day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Last case, Denine Hefky, case number 2025.
Did we do Cooper?
Yes.
We did? Okay.
Case number 2025-0235, Code Officer Erica Olson, page 15 of your agenda.
Oh, yeah, we did. Okay. Ready?
This is a repeat violation initially observed on 18 March 2025. The address of this violation is 5666 South Pendant Point, Floral City. This property is .31 acres and is zoned low-density residential with mobile homes allowed. Case number CE 2025-00235, accumulation of junk and debris, a violation of Article 3, Section 20 through 31 alpha of the Citrus County Code of Ordinances. Property owner is Denine Hefky, and she has been previously found guilty of the same violation at the same location on the 21st of December 2021. Case number 2173575 with $350.27 in imposed fines after lien forgiveness. This case was abated on the 7th of August 2023. I have good service posting on the property and posting at the Lecanto Government Building. I have 3 exhibits. Exhibit A is the findings of fact and order acknowledging compliance from the previous case. Exhibit B, photos that were taken during my initial inspection, the subsequent inspections on the 25th, 27th of February. I'm sorry, my initial inspection on the 18th of February, subsequent inspections on the 25th, 27th of February, 11th of March, 10th of April, and my final inspection, the final inspection on the 15th of April. Exhibit C, a copy of the NOV and NOH, a photo of it posted on the property, a copy of the posting affidavit, a copy of the certified mail return receipt, and a copy of the general pre-hearing order.
They're all admitted without objection. I recognize the name. Thanks. I'll just take a look at the exhibits.
Okay.
So you have had contact with the owner.
Yes.
How did that go?
There is a criminal case.
What do you mean?
Well, not with the owner, but with the tenants. One of the tenants pulled a gun on the officer and I while we were out at the property.
Wow. Okay. So y'all called law enforcement?
Yes.
And they came and arrested the tenant?
Yes.
Wow. And that case is still pending?
Yes.
Do you know if the tenant has prior convictions?
I don't.
I don't know if you know. Okay.
No, and that was the female tenant. The male tenant is the one that I've talked to since after, and he's been nice, understanding, and seemingly okay.
Are there kids there?
I believe so.
Have they indicated that they'll comply or, try to fix the property?
So when you look at the photos, so I went out there on the 18th of February. After that incident happened, the director, he felt that it would be better if he did the subsequent inspection. So any of the photos taken after that, he took. The tenant, the male, his name's Christian, he has indicated that he'd want to get the property into compliance because I believe that the homeowner is going to hold him accountable for the fees that are charged.
But you haven't had contact with the owner?
I have. She called once. I think she lives in Ohio. She said that she was trying to get the property in his name. There seems to be paperwork issues where that has not happened yet.
What's the county's recommendation?
So, assess a fine of $100 per day with administrative costs to begin on the date of the posting of the property, the 18th of February to the 26th of February, which would be 8 days, totaling $800. And 11.
Can you repeat that date period?
18 of February to 26
To the 26th
of February.
of February, okay. Okay.
And then the March 11th through April 15th, which would be 35 days, totaling $3,500. That would be a total of 45 days and $100 per day, totaling $4,300. And a fine of $150 per day from this day forward until the violation is abated.
Is this, this is the same property from the prior?
Yes,
Okay. Do you know if it's the same tenant?
I believe so. I believe that's why the homeowner was trying to get the property put in his name.
Okay. I don't know. I think what we're gonna, so did it go back, it went back into compliance after 26th of February and then
Yes.
left again? Was it a serious like how did it fall out of compliance again?
So
I mean,
he
it's-
has, up by the front porch, he had like, some wood stacked and like a pressure washer, like some other like, I couldn't really make out what all the tools were. And I said he could have like the outdoor items out there, but you know, the wood and stuff like that couldn't be out there. He put a tarp over it because I said that some of the stuff could be out there. I really couldn't feel like I could keep it out of compliance. So to me, it was in compliance. But then the tarp came off,
I see.
and you could see that.
So he
there
probably wasn't in compliance.
Probably not,
Okay.
but
All right, so from, is it 16 February?
18 through the
18?
26th
Through
of
the
February and the 11th of March through the 15th of April.
Okay, well, I'm not exactly sure what the total amount is, but I'll do 18 February to 26 February at $100 a day, and then again from 11 March to 15 April at $100 a day. No, check that. It's going to be at $200 a day on both of those.
Okay.
And then going forward, it'll be $500 a day.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything else that we need to take up? Nothing. So I'm kind of surprised that it's not longer, given that we had skipped the March hearing. So what happened?
We got a lot of compliance.
Wow.
Remember you referred earlier to that list
Yeah.
being long? We got a lot of compliance.
Yeah, it's a huge
At one
list.
time, we had over 70.
Okay. that was huge. All right. Well, congrats to you guys.
And our next hearing.
I can't tell what time it is
will be
because I
at the
can't see a
courthouse.
clock anymore.
12:35.
Okay, and so I forget why we're moving to the.
Because all the time we don't have an off-duty detail, they don't
Oh,
sign
yeah.
up for it, so then that
Yeah,
way
yeah,
the
yeah.
courthouse.
And you think it'll be at least the same capacity in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. I haven't been to that. I mean, I've been to the courthouse many, many times. I just haven't used.
It's pretty.
Cool. All right. The time is 12:35, and this hearing is adjourned. Thank you.